get 'em, Jimmy. Where Loshak at? The bottles getting nippy up the crack, and we stacking chips. All of it's what I want. Plus money winners, that's what I'm on. You can say I'm gone. I prefer elevated pub sports radio. Time to get educated, get produced, leave the juice, letting loose with so much abuse that the bookies wanna call it truth. They get slaughtered. Can't forget Jeff and low baggers in the chat. That's a lethal weapon 'cause we be pubbing.
Hey, yo, what's up? My name's Peter Loshak. His name's Jimmy the Bag. Welcome to Pub Sports Radio. We do this every Tuesday. March 28th is today's date. And, of course, we are all coming off of Pubapalooza 2, which was just awesome. Literally, I sound like a sorority chick. It was literally so awesome. It was, no, but literally it really was. It was so awesome. There's literally too much funny and awesome stuff that happened for me to even be able to remember it right now. I'm still tired from it, but in a great way. Everyone there was great. Slaughter, it was so great. My final thank you to Slaughter was just thank you for everything. Yeah. And that was it. Everything. And I said, you know what I mean by everything. Everything. Huge shout out to Slaughter for providing this opportunity for all of us to have so much fun. It was so great down there. At some point, though, I will give out specific shout outs and talk about all the funny shit that happened. But Jim, literally, there's too much. I wouldn't even know where to start. So many great people I hung out with. So many awesome, funny things happened. Hilarious shit happened. I'll say one thing that pops to mind. Pretty much every third thing that DJ Big Boss says is freaking hilarious. That's the first thing that pops. I'll shout out DJ Big Boss for making me laugh every third thing he says. Dude, that guy is funny as hell.
That guy is funny as hell. The hardest I laughed was when we left the Alamo Brewery together in the Uber, and our friend Tim was on one of those scooters, and he went off really fast. Our Uber driver was astonished by how fast he was. I thought he was going too fast. She was laughing at him. We finally catch up to him 6 blocks in, and he gives us that little nod, that little wink, and then he fucking bails. And he hits the concrete, rolls a couple times.
I mean, there was so many awesome. One thing that pops into my mind, though, is when those random chicks went into the studio and started showing their feet, and I went in the very end. They were like, Loshak, just go in there. I sensed opportunity. I was like, one of these broads thinks she's psychic, and I bet you in this case she is. I asked him, I got you some winners. I was like, this woman is going to deliver winners to us if I handle it the right way. And I did. I listed both of the teams for both the games, and I'll be damned if she didn't give both San Diego State and Miami. Go check the video. She did. Well, we could be here for hours. We were so many funny and awesome things happened. Dabby Cab, Jimmy Gomez. I mean, it was just
Nasty so Nate is still there.
Oh, is he really?
Nate is still in San Antonio.
Man, this shit was funny. Suni Dhaliwal was awesome. I want to hang out with him in New York. That's gonna be fun. And make a kids / let it ride sports betting video with him featured in it somehow, some way.
And there's Gonzo. We got to meet Gonzo. We got to meet cappers that we hadn't met before. Gonzo, it was great times hanging with you, my man. Man, that was fun. It's so much fun. We have so much to talk about, but we also have to cap the card and want to cap the card. And another thing, we have no idea where Jose is.
Oh, okay.
Jose is missing. I don't know if you guys in San Antonio know. Dabby Cab says that the pimp cane that you gave him is the best gift that he's ever received. Do you know, Dabby Cab, where Jose is? Because he's missing in action.
Remo says he cashed $100 on her Blues pick. Oh, they were all wow. They were getting other picks from her, and they cashed also. Damn. Wow.
Oh, yeah, I'm in rough shape. This was a tough cap this morning, but I got the work done, which is the most important thing. And but we don't know where. Yeah, Jose is missing. It's breaking news. It has to be breaking. He's Razor says he's with the Feet Girls. No, we don't. Jose is supposed to be here with us right now. He's supposed to be here. So I
did gift Jose my LMAX hat. It's possible that LMAX hat just like took him into another dimension of enlightenment, and he's just surpassed us all in this realm of existence.
So I don't know where he is. I spoke with him yesterday. He's supposed to be here with us right now. So there's no graphics. So I guess I'll have to timestamp again. Maybe he comes up and gets the graphics in while the show's going on. But so
do we? He might be meditating behind that dollar store in the LMAX hat. Look for an extremely wise and enlightened being in an LMAX hat. Anyone who's in San Antonio right now, and tell him we need him back at Southtown 101.
And we don't have anything for NHL action or anything. Troy Torrance on the flight as well. Respect, Troy. Bo Jackson saw Jose on the milk carton. So there's Dre. We got to hang out with Dre, another capper that was that we got to meet for the first time down there. It's wonderful, man. What a spectacular.
Oh, big show picks in comment section. Hell yeah, what a fucking great guy that is.
Awesome.
Everyone there, I had a great time with them all. And I also am like, damn, I didn't have near as much time as I wish I had to hang out with all of them. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Hell yeah, big show picks.
Oh, it was wonderful. So shout out to all you guys in the chat. Everybody that supports us at Pub Sports Radio. It gives us the opportunity to have experiences like we just had. It just means the world to all of us. We got new worker in the house, Jay Smooth. Rem Mo says, no offense to your other guest, Jimmy, but can you tell me when the Strawberry Hill segment is on today? Justin McElvey, Ron Lofton, Troy Torrance, Razor Sharp Picks, Dan Kelly. We have lots of stories, so we'll be dropping the stories as we go throughout the next little while. And I've got a bunch of stuff we want to tweet out. We have so many pictures and all these videos, and we have a whole bunch of videos we want to tweet out. There was a lot of people who bet against me, Pete, in the ping pong game against Dabby Cab. A lot of people thought that the fact that, he was drafted in Major League Baseball, signed by Major League Baseball teams, has a huge reach advantage. The fact that I'd been drinking for about 8 hours straight at the horse track, they all thought he was going to beat me, and that was not the case.
No shit.
No, I beat him 21
for real. Oh man,
5. I beat him 21-5 with no warm up. So all of you who were against me, and there was a lot of you in that. You couldn't have been more wrong betting against the bag. And remember that in your future, that you couldn't have been more wrong not believing in the bag. 21-5, no warm up with 8 hours of drinking under my belt. So
wow, it reminds me of those old college basketball before they realized how college basketball actually works. It'd be like UNC minus 25 against some tiny team, and the tiny team come out and win. 1975, you know what I mean? Back before people realized how everything fits together. Give me the bag.
Alex Hills says only make that mistake once. Alex Hills did make it once. He made it. Everybody was on. Everybody was on Cab. Big Show said he warmed up all day. That's why I went with him. Big Show hasn't slept 36 hours. Okay, we got to get to work, but man, was that fun. Oh,
but it is tough. I mean, you look at the eye test. You're like, this guy's huge, a reach advantage. He looks like Elvis. There's no fucking way. Yeah. But yeah,
man, I'm in rough shape. Justin McAfee says everyone against me, but I got Cavs minus 114. Write it down, Peter. Is what he's really saying. There's Mike M in the house. There's so many people we want to thank too, and we'll get through it as we go. But you're right. There's one man in particular, and that's Jeff Slaughter for putting it all together and putting the group together and all the experiences together and taking such good care of us. It was just it was magic, man. Magic.
Sorry, go ahead.
Well, I was just giving more shouts out. But what were you gonna say?
No, I was just gonna say, the only bad part for me though was that I did, expose myself as like maybe a poker newbie. That's not gonna be the case next year, though. Trust me, that's not gonna be the case next year. I'm gonna be boning up.
So I forget how many people were in the tournament, but it all came down to Pete Loshak and myself. So I mean, it's just we took care of business. We got the cash.
The reason I came in second place was because I never got a pocket pair in the entire tournament, which is why I wasn't in any hands, which is why I didn't donk off everything I had very quickly. And I got one of those like newbie lucky by being unlucky situations, but it's going to be a different story next year.
Well, I one of the problems with the abuse of booze, that the ridiculous amount of booze, is that I remember very little. I remember the early afternoons. I have no recollection of the poker game. I don't. Yeah, that's the only thing I wish I could change is not to be so horrifically intoxicated that I have no recollection of anything that happens. That's the one. Troy Torrance says, "Does Pub Sports need an analyst? Where do I submit my resume?" You're damn right we do, Troy. We want you guys to have voices. We want you guys to be on screen. So hit me up anytime. Tay Butta in the house, ready to get to work. Slatsy coming off a 5-2 night in NHL. Okay, I'm starting to feel better. A little better. Just talking. Gifted Cartel ready to get to work. No, Big Show will be fine, but we're not going to have any graphics and it is strange that he is. Slatsy says, if you're in rough shape, Jose has to be asleep in a ditch somewhere in San Antonio. He only drank on Sunday night. So now Dabby Cab's Airbnb was in a bad neighborhood. And Jose spent a lot of time there. So maybe something happened to Jose. Maybe because I watched, I tried to watch hockey on the plane, but I have this sick thing about the first 48, the murder, the first 48. I had to watch it on the plane, so I got a chance to watch some horrific crimes going down, and it makes me think that Jose's been abducted. His car's been taken. His car's burnt somewhere. Kong's clip says, for all the families in Nashville that are making funeral arrangements for 9-year-old kids due to violence against preschoolers, shake my head. It's absolutely heartbreaking. Kong's clips. It's just something that just keeps rearing its head. It's it's just heartbreaking. That's all we can say is that we our thoughts are with all those families, and it's absolutely heartbreaking. And one of the things that Pete and I used to do was, like, politically, we just put our heads in the sand. But for something that just horrific, I hear you, Kong's clips, and thank you for mentioning that. There's Clint Starr, the diehard MMA podcast. Razor Sharp Pick says, how was the horse track? Did anyone cash? Yeah, we got off to a great start. We know Martin Drexler's juicing his horses, so we got off to a great start.
That was fun as hell, and I was cosplaying Let It Ride the whole time. I had a blast there, Jimmy the Bag.
Is it true that you cashed every bet?
Me? No.
Yeah.
I mean, yes, the first 3 bets I made, but then
I heard a rumor that you had cashed actually every single bet that you placed at the horse track.
That was the start, but then I was just like listening to you guys and started like throwing on, like, I was having such a good time. I started doing like exacta boxes and trifecta boxes on some of the other races you were doing. It but I mean it was fun. Yeah, but to start, when I was paying attention and capping the cappers instead of just having a good time, yes, I was listening to what you did, and like there were a few times when you had a winner that lost but came in second. I won because I bet at the show or whatever. But yeah, but then I just had a good time betting some long shots, trifectas and exactas, and probably wound up a little bit down, but had a great friggin' time.
It was so much fun. All right, we'll talk more and more about it. Mike M says, how was the dinner? The dinner did not go down. The infused dinner did not happen. And the comedy show was great. Comedy show was a lot of fun. The whole thing was just so much fun. So Saturated says, Loshak rocking the handlebar mustache, says very suave, couldn't double for a guy named Chop if needed or could. That was the hardest I laughed. Was I walked into the Family Dollar, and I'd been drinking on my show. We'd been drinking shots on the show, so I was intoxicated. I was probably my best drunk, which is around 2 or 3 in the sunshine. And I walked in the Family Dollar, and there you were, Pete. You looked completely different than you'd looked just a few hours previous, and that crushed me. That made me laugh so hard, seeing you completely change drastically.
That was a classic moment. Would have been great if it had been caught on camera. Just classic. All of a sudden, I hear Jim laughing in the background of the dollar store. The guy behind the counter was like, "What's going on?" He started laughing too. I started pretending I didn't know him. I was like, this guy's just laughing at your customers. It was a great time. It was a great scene. It was awesome.
Okay, let's get to work.
All right.
Oh, let's get to work. Thank you guys for joining us. Gifted Cartel wants to get right to work. Bobby Lee Swagger says, can't believe you two are still doing a show together. I remember watching you boys like 7 years ago, I swear. Means a ton to us that you've stuck around and believed. Means a ton. I'm really, really proud of this group and hanging with everybody, and I'm just so thankful, and I'm just so excited, and I'm inspired. So it's a great feeling to have. We've got a huge NHL card here. Then we have Trot Wam joining us for NBA, and then we close on NIT Let's get to Okay, let's go. Let's go. 7 p.m. Eastern, we start, and I did just receive a message from Jose, so he is alive, and he apologizes, and he's gonna try to help out when he can. Let's get to work. Jared Trader says, "Are you guys excited for the MLB season to start?" Do you want to just briefly touch on that, because a lot of us think that your greatest skill is MLB. So are you ready for the year? Excited about the year? How you feel about the year coming up?
I mean, obviously the rule change, everyone knows about it. It's going to be wacky, boys. It's going to be wacky, right? You got the freaking pitch timer. You got the limits for pickoff attempts. You got the bigger bases. You got the shift rules that are coming in. The question is exactly how much will this affect scoring? My sense is probably yes. Probably blindly betting overs until further notice. Probably because of the uncertainty of it all, probably give a little boost to underdogs in general until further notice. It's we all know that professional sports is the difference between being good, great, and awesome is like so tiny. So you tweak the rules a little bit, and sometimes you can have, you saw what happened in Coors, before they had the humidor. All right, so the altitude's a little higher, the air's a little thinner, bam, all of a sudden you're seeing 30 runs a game, right? So there's no question that a premium on speed, that we're going to see, speedsters, like in the old days, speedsters are going to be much more valuable this year than they have in recent memory. How much more valuable? I'm not sure. Quite possibly a lot more valuable. It's going to throw the analytics up for a little bit of a twist. You know what I mean? For a while, the analytics guys had it all figured out. They were like, all right, baseball's just home run, strikeouts, and walks, and that's pretty much it. It's going to be different now. You know what I'm saying? There's going to be strategies, and I'm going to keep an eye out for who's adapting well, who's not. But it definitely may be the case that some speed-loaded teams will see a significant boost in their offensive production, or not. We'll see. It's going to be. I suspect that scoring will increase significantly, but maybe not. Maybe not. We'll see.
No, I think that you're right. I think you hit it there. I have come so far since that first year that I capped baseball with you. I thought that I was a good capper. I thought that I was good baseball capper. I really did when I came down years ago. And I realized how ignorant I was and how complicated the sport is. And each year I've improved, and each year I've gotten stronger and stronger and stronger. And I'm really excited for the opportunity to rock with you guys. So this was my best year. So it's gone up about 20 units at a time, it feels like. But last year, 316 wins, 270 losses. So that was one thing. Instead of having 1,000 bets for the year, I had 586. So I think that was a part that helped. I was up 24.71 units with an ROI of 4.22%. I had some friends pushing me to try to get to 5%. I was just trying to get to 3% ROI. My whole goal was 3, but at one point it was 5, and I can't wait to work with you. I cannot wait. Can't wait to work with you this year. I'm really, really excited. So let's get to work. Let's get to work here. And futures, I did the American League futures show with Sharpie, but I didn't bet them. I was like, why don't we just wait, see what kind of late injuries are. So I plan to now double back on the plan and go over everything and then get my action in tonight. Let's get to work. Okay, I should talk to Jose about why don't you set the table for Predators Bruins? I got a message, Jose, something because
okay, yeah. So NHL, there's actually only one bet. Oh, this is the game that I did bet on the overnight line. Might have been a mistake, maybe not. Boston obviously is who they are. They're continuing to win, but not quite by huge margins, and they are arresting people, right? They're going to be resting people, and you know that even when they play, they've got to be in a situation where they're going to be just taking a little bit off the top, not going, 100% and get someone injured. And Nashville, not a great team, lost 2 in a row, both as a dog, losing recently, but they should be a little bit competitive. I took small shots with Nashville plus 2.5 and plus 2. Don't quite want to take them to win outright because it's just scary to bet against Boston, although I think there is some value there. Feels like yet another close game here for Boston. They'll probably pull out the win, but probably not go all out to get a margin win, and I have to assume that Nashville will play hard here, and I like Nashville probably +2 or something like that.
This is a really difficult. This is a really difficult game. Nashville's handling the injuries extremely well. I don't know how they're doing it, but they are. I don't expect them to continue to do it. You have Marchand with nagging injuries, Patrice Bergeron sick, Foligno and Taylor Hall out with lower body injuries probably till the end of the regular season. Hampus Lindholm dealing with an undisclosed injury. He sat out Sunday. You had Lindholm, so you had those Foligno, Hall, Lindholm, Marchand sitting out Sunday. You had the Canes were got up to -170, and the Bruins still won. They're coming off their 7th straight victory, 4-3 in a shootout Carolina on Sunday. And then you have this Nashville team coming off their 2nd straight loss, 3-2 at home versus the Leafs on Sunday, but they're playing fine. They're 5-4-1 over their past 10. They're doing it. We talked about them doing it without Philip Forsberg, Ryan Johansson, and UC Parsonen, 3 centers. Now Matt Duchene is also out, so 4 centers. And Roman Yossi's missed 5 straight games. So there's our guy Nate Dogg in the house. Mike M says unders in Boston is big fave, 7-14 to the under recently. Jimmy Gomez this morning, Jimmy and Loshak and all the friends, family in the chat. Jimmy Gomez, so much fun to hang with you, man.
Hell yeah.
So at this point, we'll take a look at the line history here, but I mean, obviously, I get it. Yeah, Nashville would be the only side I would look at, but I don't want to I don't want to stand in the way of Boston. You know, they're key depth pieces are stepping up right now. Their defense is stepping up. Their goaltending, they're going back and forth from Umark to Swayman. Just everything that they're doing is working. And there was just another huge move towards them 20 minutes ago. And another 23-cent move towards the Bruins from 327 to 350. They opened up -307. I wonder if it's the total that we should be looking at. This total opened up at 6 at -114. It's now heavily juiced to the under. So maybe that trend that Mike is talking about is the trend to believe in. I just and you probably is. I think what can you trust in this game? You can trust Ullmark and Saros. I mean, that's the only thing you can really say. Oh, I know what they're going to give me here. So maybe it is the under.
Yeah, I mean, I was leaning under too as well. Of course, obviously, or the first period under. I don't know. The Boston team total under is a little bit. Probably pushing it. I'm gonna. That's the only bet that I really made on the overnight line. Small, but the Preds plus some points. That sounds okay to you, Jim, or does it make you nervous?
No. I get it. Makes sense to me. It certainly makes sense to me here. I mean, with all these injuries, there's our guy, our leader, Jeff Slaughter in the house. Yeah. My goodness, was it a magic? He says, I really appreciate everyone that could make it out, help us make this past weekend special, and it was so special. And trying to plan the Midwest meeting or on the East or like Detroit or somewhere we can all a lot of people who have trouble getting to San Antonio can run. But I guess I'll just leave it with under question mark here. Did you want to make it official?
Yeah, I'll make it official. I would love to take 2.5 just so that if they do lose by 2, I get I do get a unit, but I'll just eat the push officially if that happens. I'll take Nashville Predators, Jimmy the Bag, +2, -118 current line at Pinnacle. Nashville Predators, +2, -118 current line at Pinnacle. So
also, I should mention this because I wasn't tracking you when we weren't doing the show together. You've been very good in NHL lately. I feel like I haven't really helped that much especially the last couple of weeks where you've been bang on, and then the leans that you had, I was kind of uncomfortable with. I've made a lot of mistakes with like the Lightning and with teams like that over the last little while where you've sensed and your faith in the Habs has really come through for you. So you're seeing things very well right now. And
yeah, I would say. I mean, one of the important things in NHL, in all sports, but especially in NHL, is when you can be like, some great team, they're still pretty good, but they're not that great. And of course, also when some shitty team happens all the time, turns it around either overall or at home. We've seen that multiple times this year, right? Arizona at home, the Habs turning it around, Vancouver turning it around, and you'll see that. I feel like you've seen it more this year than in most years, but you'll see it a few times every year. And that's always something to be.
Maybe the difference between. Because you've often talked about these AHL players who are really fighting for a job. Maybe the difference between these AHL players and these NHL players is significantly smaller now with the with the skill set of these players getting better, the size of these players getting smaller, and the clutch and grab becoming somewhat non-existent. Maybe the difference between the highest skill players and the highest skill AHL players is different. So yeah, there's a lot to talk about, but you've been excellent. Let's keep rolling. So we got Pete on the board. I have some interest on the under. It's offered to me at minus 120. Imp13 wanting to tie Bruins money line and the under 6.5. And Slatsy talking about Caden Primo making his first start tonight. And I've often studied Caden Primo because he's had a few cups of coffees here, 7th round pick. We've seen him since 2018, really, right? 2018, 2019. So let's roll. Next up for us is Lightning Hurricanes, Pete.
Yeah, I don't know. The rest of the card is, maybe something will come out when we talk about it. But Tampa Bay's now lost 4 in a row, and Carolina, they've lost 3. Well, they're 3-2 in their last 5. The 2 losses were to Boston and the Rangers, which is forgivable. They were still a favorite in both of those. And the question is, like, how much does Carolina really want this? And what the hell's up with Tampa Bay? I definitely have them downgraded a bit, but not exactly sure how much to grade them down. Carolina, obviously a very impressive team, if not the legit, favorite to win the Stanley Cup, as some people have them slated as.
I certainly don't.
Yeah, for sure.
All year.
But there's still, and the question is just, how much is Tampa Bay gonna fight here and try to stop losing? I'm not exactly sure. Let's talk it out, and maybe I'll make a bet. But as of right now, I'm a little bit lost on this.
It's certainly uncomforting. Billy Friedrich, who watches these boys play, the Canes play in person in Raleigh, says Jesper Fast looks to be out tonight. Jesper Fast and Kochekov in net. Says, I don't know if Tampa will care about this game and would do a same game parlay, full game under in Canes money line. Imp13 says pass right now leaning to the Canes. Slatsy says 4-0-1 last 5 in Carolina. I don't know what to make of the Lightning. Especially on the road. 17-19-1 now on the road. Nate Dogg looking at Carolina money line in the over 6. I don't think I've bet an over in a Hurricanes game all year, and I've done quite well, trying to get under anytime I see a 6. But I don't know. I can't when you can't place what a team is doing, it's really hard to. God, I have so much money, by the way, in my wallet right now. It's so fat, Pete. It's just sitting there right now, just dumb fat. Now, it's a lot of $1 bills, $5 bills, but it's dumb fat right there. It's just stupid fat sitting there looking at me. But and when I'm thinking about putting money on something, you want to have faith in the angle that you're betting. The Hurricanes open up minus 140. There's been a 10-cent move to the Lightning. So that's.
Fanatical Jim says Lightning look gassed, and Mike M says Carolina home bounce back spot, and Tampa Bay is a road dog 2-8. Nice intersecting point for Carolina.
Yeah, I get it. So Lightning coming off their 4th straight loss, 2-1 at Boston on Saturday. They've been outscored 17-7 over those 4 games, and they're a completely healthy group. So it's hard to decipher this late season swoon. Hurricanes coming off their 2nd loss in 3 games, 4-3 at home to Boston in the shootout. Jesse Puljujarvi, whom they hope will replace Svechnikov as a top 6 forward, he's now day-to-day with an undisclosed favorite. Marcus Anderson back in the house says your favorite Latvian guy is back. Good to see you.
Hell yeah. Not that I don't like no offense to the top 10 Latvian guys, but, you can't match the top guy. You just can't. You know what I'm saying? I don't have faith in an angle in this game, and I guess it makes sense that Carolina would be the play, but it's pretty fishy. It's a pretty fishy line move towards the Lightning, and Lightning lost 4 straight there. Are they just going to keep losing? Don't they want to test themselves again? Like that's what I wonder, with the handful of games left in the season, when you have a really good opponent in their barn, don't you kind of want to test where you guys actually are? Like when you're playing the Blackhawks and the Habs, and it's like, let's just get out healthy. Who cares? But when you're playing a good hockey team, you think that you want to test yourself. So I'm not going to move on this game, but I would understand the under. But Tampa's penalty killing isn't very good. But Carolina's now 13% power play over their last 10. I guess I would have some interest in the under 6 here, and that's about it.
That's about
Yeah,
it.
I wanted to take a shot with Tampa Bay, but after seeing, listening to you guys talk, and then Mike M posting what he posted, I guess I'm going to hold off. But I really wanted to try Tampa Bay first period or something like that.
Billy says,
there you go.
beat
Jay Stone says Carolina is so good in the first period. Okay, yeah.
And Billy says Hurricanes beat Tampa badly 6-0 about 3 weeks ago. Tampa showed zero heart in that game. RVD says, I don't trust Tampa. They're not a good team like last year. Past me. I mean, what's different from them from last year? I mean,
and that's one thing you got to be careful of in NHL. The teams where it's like, their spot. Some of them, yes, do it. Others, it's like, but they had to win here. They're just not. They just don't have it. They just don't have the heart.
Well, let's. I'm not moving on it. Newburgh says Tampa just waiting to smash Leafs in the first round. I mean, our first round series in the East are going to be incredible. Deshaun G looking at NHS anytime -110. Let's move on. Let's move on to the next spot on the board. Penguins, Red Wings.
Yes. Okay. Penguins, Red Wings. Penguins. Okay. Where is that? Yeah. The rest of this card is questionable for me, Jimmy the Bag. Obviously, Pittsburgh is the better team here, but this is a big road favorite line here. They beat the Washington in a close one in their last game as a fave, though, and they're just not winning. I know that Detroit isn't winning either, but they're getting a big dog line here. I know Detroit in general looks like they have very little right now, but there's no way I would take Pitt here. It's probably going to be a pass, but it's dog or pass. It's dog if anything for me, Jim.
I mean, it's hard for me to feel that way. Everything is on the line here for the Penguins.
Yeah, but what did I just say? They just kind of suck, man.
But then you have Needles in net, who's absolutely terrible. The guy couldn't, keep a job in the NHL. He's been back now for 2 games. One, he came in late. The other one, he played the full game, and they lost 3-0. He only allowed 2 goals in the loss, but they only got 21 shots on goal in him. Rocco Rogers says Yari's been pretty good. It hasn't been very good. Sorry, that's going to happen a few times because the heavy brain cell loss. Penguins coming off their second win in 3 games, 4-3 at home over the Capitals on Saturday. They remain without defenseman Marcus Pettersson, Jan Ruda, Jeff Petrie. Petrie could be back, Dmitry Kulikov, and their newly acquired Nick Bonino. And again, that sounds a little worse than it is because Kulikov and Bonino were pickups and haven't been active. Red Wings coming off their second straight loss, 3-0 at the Flyers on Saturday, and Husso's hurt. Also, you have Philip Zadina hurt, Robbie Fabry hurt, Ben Sherratt hurt. I guess here the Penguins have to win this hockey game, and when push comes to shove here in the playoffs, if the Penguins have the final wild card spot and they play the Boston Bruins, the Bruins are going to take them out, but it's not going to be easy. It's just not going to be easy with Crosby and Malkin Letang in a short series, these experienced veterans that have been there before. And I think that it doesn't – I guess that the Pens should push to get out of that spot. They should push to play a Carolina team that's now down Svechnikov and dealing with some injuries. I mean, how do the Penguins not win this hockey game? I mean, they're going to win this hockey game. They have to win this hockey game, and I don't trust Nedeljkovic. Now, Nedeljkovic has an .882 save percentage in 10 games this year, 10 starts at least. Is he going to? A lot of times when you have a goaltender or anybody with character who's sent down, and we talk about this a lot with pitchers in baseball, when they get another chance and they're and they felt what it was like to spend a whole year in the minors. They usually play to the very best of their abilities. Is Nedeljkovic capable of doing that? Because if he's capable of doing that, maybe they are alive.
All right, well, I'm just going to take, it might be a loss, but that's okay. I'm going to take the Wings first period only, Pinnacle line, plus 137. Wings, first period, plus 137. That's official.
All right, let's give it to you. First period, Wings, plus 137. So I think that and this was not part of my plan, but after talking about this, I think I'm going to see what line I'm going to get on the -1, but And Billy Friedrich says Detroit right now is 5 of the top 42 draft picks in the upcoming draft. Yeah, no, Yzerman's doing the right things. I thought he probably should have kept Philip Roenick. He's the talk of Vancouver right now. They say he's the best right-handed shot defenseman that we've ever had in the history of our franchise. That's how high they are on Philip Roenick. Yeah, okay, why don't we move on? But I expect that the Penguins -1, it's now or never. In obviously, I have a vividness bias with Sidney Crosby stepping up this time of year, but it's too expensive. I'm not getting the -182. I'm getting -200 and a +135. But I am interested in the Penguins. And this was a spot there. If I wanted a favorite like this and a road favorite, I should have got in early. I have some interest in Penguins -1. We'll discuss it more. Or at least I will figure it out after the show. Let's move on. Next up for us, a 7 p.m. start at Madison Square Garden. The Columbus Blue Jackets, and Pete, 52 goals have been scored in their last 5 games. Columbus Blue Jackets, New York Rangers, take it away.
I mean, again, Columbus off a blowout loss. Before that, they had won 2 in a row as a big dog. And, the Rangers are winning too, though, of course, obviously. An impressive team, but it's just I just think this line is too high. I haven't made a bet on it yet. I guess I probably will pass. As I sit here right now, before I look at the comment section, listen to what you have to say, Jimmy the Bag. If I had to make a free play on it, no question about it, I would throw it on Columbus. They're just not. They're a bad team, but they can get your win. You get you a win here and there, and this is just too high of a line. I think. Yes, the scoring has been explosive as well. So I guess I'd lean maybe Columbus team total over as well. But it just, I don't know, 382. That was what I saw this morning. What's the line now? Has it moved anywhere? Let me just quickly glance. Oh my God! Now it's -407 at Heritage.
Yeah, 407 at Pinnacle too.
Come on, bro.
Yeah, it's crazy. I mean, it's absolutely nuts. But when you take a look at what the Blue Jackets are dealing with right now, it's very, very difficult. We're dealing with line A out for most of the year. Werenski out for pretty much the whole year, and then they lost Jake Bean as well. And then recently they've lost Goodbranson, who's god awful. He's so bad, just one of the worst Corsi players of the last decade. You have Nick Blankenberg out with an ankle injury, so those are 2 defensemen out. Then you have Matthew Olivier out, young centerman out. They're just, and then their games have been so high scoring. Columbus is with all these issues going on with Columbus. Their power play is at 33.3%. Marcus Anderson says Merzlikins is expected to play. Wow. Okay. Says fade. Brandon the Great. No, we have Trot Wam joining us for NBA here probably in about 20 minutes, and then we'll go into college basketball. The Rangers have a 92% penalty kill. And I love the Tyler Mott pickup. I'm not entirely sure Tarasenko and Kane. I'm very interested to see how they work when the games become extremely tough to play. Now we know they're both Stanley Cup winners, so it's not like the pressure or the spotlight or the intensity is too much for them. Michael Hutchinson won't have much of a job in the NHL for much longer. I don't know where he'll be. AHL, ECHL. And Shesty is starting to play a little better. Rocco Rogers says Rangers first team total over 1.5.
I was just about to highlight this comment and opinion from Rocco Rogers. Yeah, that looks like it probably does have some value. Plus 155, maybe cashes 45% of the time or so.
Mike M says Rangers have won the first period 7 times in a row at MSG. And then it's at the Rangers are -425 at Bet365. So the Rangers first period -0.5 is even money. That's probably the way to go. Rangers -0.5 first period at even money. If they've won 7 straight first periods, their penalty killing has been so strong of late that they can stop the 33.3% power play the Jackets have shown. And the question is, the Rangers are an extremely healthy group. Are they completely focused right now? I know that Kane and Tarasenko want to score. Panarin wants to score right now. They want it. Chris Kreider's not had. I mean, he's coming off a 50-goal campaign. I know that they like to score. They want to score and put on a show. It'll be sold out at MSG regardless of who they're playing. Maybe that's it. Maybe Mike M just nailed it. I think he just nailed it.
Mm-hmm.
Getting even money, and all you have to do is be up 1-0.
Yeah, and I'm thinking that maybe the first period and or second period over. I'm looking at like Heritage right now. It's 1.5 minus 225. That's a huge line, but the way these teams are probably going to be going tonight, if they only score one goal in the second period, I might be willing to eat 2.25 units of loss there.
Slot says Rangers clinched their playoff berth last night. I really don't think that. I'd be surprised if there was any kind of celebration. And then I would say that the only other thing you could do right now is think the Rangers could catch the Devils, and you want that. We got a couple things coming in here. Red NHL spreadsheet play today is the Hurricanes from Ron Crawford. Isaiah Scurry in the house says, "How was Texas?" It was like it's fun. It's great a weekends I've ever had in my entire life is what it was. It was. I can't imagine that I've had a weekend that was more fun than that. So it was fucking magic. I'm gonna copy and paste these looks from Ron Crawford. Thank you for sharing them for us. So is there? I think I'm gonna move on this. I think that we did kind of unearth the bet here. Let me pop that in. So I'll get this going here for Ron Crawford, and then spreadsheet play today's North Texas. He cashed with North Texas before, and it was beautiful. Okay, so and Ron Crawford's call last week on the Penguins. I think they were either plus 140 or plus 160 dogs in Colorado, and they won 5-2, and they'd lost 4 straight. Was a thing of absolute beauty, Ron. Okay, so I'm gonna just make sure that we got the NIT look from Ron as well here, and that is North Texas money line. They're playing whiskey. It's gonna be a fun one. I can't wait to talk about it. Okay, so let's move on to the next spot. You're gonna not
wait. No, I'm gonna use the Pinnacle line here. You probably get worse other places. It's probably this is probably a better line than most other people would have to take. But I'm gonna take first period over 1.5. It's just minus 167. Probably more value, as Rocco Rogers said, is with the Rangers over 1.5 at big plus money. But once again, I'm just going to take it safe here, just in case. Who knows? Maybe we won one. I'm going to take first period over 1.5 minus 167 Columbus Rangers.
You have got it locked down. Dan Kelly's got to go, but he's leaving us with some glory. He's leaving us with the second quarter Cavs -2 at plus 143. By the way, we can find a better line for that at Bookmaker. Thank you for sharing that, Billy.
First period over, really?
Yeah.
What's the line?
Minus 155.
What, really? Okay. I'll take it. Wow.
All right. There's Sean pulling him in the house. What up, Sean? So let me just grab this here and have it locked in minus 155. Okay, let's keep rolling. I know a lot of people want to talk NBA, and that is next for us. So let's keep rolling. Next up, Habs Flyers.
Yeah. This is, the Habs. Look at this. 4-3 in their last 7. They've actually been good, right? Winning as a big dog, losing, but to good teams, scoring, right? They've been going over in their past, 12 or 15 games or so. Philly also winning. They've been winning recently. Their only loss was very, very forgivable. OT to Carolina. They've also been going over. So I'm not really sure. What I think here. I think that Montreal is playing with good heart right now. Don't really want to fade Philly, though. Maybe Montreal team total over. I'm not sure. I kind of want to bet on both of these teams at this point in the season. It kind of sucks that they're playing each other in this game.
Thank you, Billy. Much love, man. And thank you for your insights. And get that cash, my friend. And stay in touch, my man. I want to bet on the Philadelphia Flyers. I want to get involved with them, especially at home. I think that this run that's going on right now is real. They're 5-4-1 over their past 10, 13% power play, 71.8% penalty killing. Montreal has a 65.6% penalty killing over the past 10 days. The big story with Montreal is Caden Primo and expectations of him. He's just being so average with Laval, year after year. It's very similar numbers. Now, it's probably been much tougher for him this year at Laval with all the injuries that the Habs have had, that his team was completely, brought up. Like his whole team was brought up. But in Laval, he was 14-14-6 with 3.13 goals against average, 906 save percentage. And Montreal's on the second half back-to-back after their second straight win in 3rd and 4 games, 4-3 in the shootout Buffalo last night. We've talked about their injuries, throughout, but They lose Josh Anderson. He's been the most consistent. I mean, I guess you'd say Suzuki, but he's just been such a consistent force on this hockey team, and he sustained a high ankle sprain and won't return to this year. So, 21 goals, 164 shots on net, 139 hits, 72 penalty minutes. He just did absolutely everything. The Sabres are playing awful hockey. Their young defensemen are exhausted. Like I don't like the way Granado's handled the squad. I don't think we should take too much from that win other than they're very fadeable here. The Flyers are coming up their third straight win. They're at home. They're playing good hockey. They're playing really sound hockey. They continue to wait for Konechny to return, and I don't think Couturier is coming back. Rocco Rogers says Primo's awful, and I mean awful. He said, I've been back in the Habs past 2 games, and they've looked awesome, but I don't expect Bruins to roll Caden Primo. I don't see how the Flyers don't put up 4 in this at all. Yeah, Mike M, I saw that. Mike M says, Torts held an interview. I read it, read about it, that to tell the fans to stop mailing him about saying that they should tank. And Isaiah Scurry moving on the Yankees minus 140 in a game that pops off here in 10 minutes. Thank you for sharing that with us, Isaiah. Mike M says Habs 9-1 on the road after a big win, and Phillies 2-9 last 11 at home versus the Habs. Wow, those are trends that would certainly go against the Flyers -1. But
Sean G saying over simple, which I mean that's if you're not going to overthink it, that's the way to go. Obviously,
I just don't see I worry about the Flyers a little bit playing that kind of a game, but Slatsy says Flyers team total over 2.5 -136. That's a great way of handling it. Roger
Justin McIvy says he literally just did the same at -143. All right, well, I'm going to do that. Go ahead, do some more NHL analysis, Jimmy the Bag, while I hail this play. Okay?
Yeah, Carter Hart going to be in between the pipes. Everybody from the 2018 Canadian junior team is no longer allowed to play for Team Canada in any capacity. So we'll see if that changes because Cale Makar is on defense. We still don't know the 8 players that were supposedly in the group sexual assault. I don't know how they've been able to keep it under wraps. I don't know how these players are, getting just to move on. But Carter Hart's one of them, and that came out yesterday. So I want Flyers -1, but it's certainly going up against trends that Mike M is dropping. Much love, Nate Dogg, my guy. So I guess I'm going to have to sit with it a little longer if it's going to be up against all of Mike M's thoughts. But Flyers -1 for me at this point.
All right. I'm gonna shout out to Nate Dogg. Yeah, all right. I guess I'm just gonna pass.
All right, let's move on to it's funny. My dad is such an intense fan, and he's so high on Philip Roenick right now. I've never seen him like this. And he really loves the job that Rick Tocchet. I mean, clearly Rick Tocchet is changing the atmosphere here. And my dad was very high on Boudreau too. But we have Thatcher Demko coming back. The Canucks are playing good hockey right now. And I wonder if anybody thinks that's going to change against St. Louis. So why don't you set a table for Vancouver Canucks, St. Louis Blues, Pete?
Yeah. Geez. Okay. Let me just find it. Where the hell is it? Yeah. I mean, once again, the over would be the obvious play. Vancouver absolutely rolling. St. Louis, they're also going over. And I was on the Kings. I was on LA -1 on Sunday night, Jimmy the Bag, and they were up 5-1 or something like that in the first period. I was like, how good am I at this shit? They came back. St. Louis came back. This is a scrappy team that's obviously fighting. So I don't necessarily. I mean, I got a push on it, but I was quite shocked that they didn't catch it. I just got a push. Yeah, I guess the over would be the obvious play here. This is also similar to the Habs game where I kind of wish I could bet on both of these teams, and it kind of sucks that they're playing each other. Maybe I don't know. The over is super obvious, I guess. I'm not sure what to make of this, Jim. Maybe a pass because they're both offensively capable teams. I don't want to fade.
I can understand we don't want to fade. The Blues. I get that, but I really want to bet on the Canucks now. Les Habitants. They've been that since 1910 or 13 or 14. That's why the H is in the middle of their uniform. A once proud franchise.
La plus grande franchise dans la histoire du hockey.
Can you believe that man would be allowed to keep his job after speaking French like that? Shocking. So here, Thatcher Demko is playing at a much higher level than Jordan Binnington. Vancouver's 8-2-0 over their past 10. Their penalty killing has been excellent, 89.7%. Their power play has gone down, which is a bit of a surprise. And look, we don't care that Bo Horvat isn't with the Canucks. We don't care. Watch him in Long Island. He's going to be a 50-point scorer. He's going to score 45, 50 points a year for the next 10 years, 8.5 per. Enjoy that shit. He was in the contract year. When you see players in their contract years, we're seeing it with Pierre-Luc Dubois in Winnipeg. Those guys only care about themselves, man. So when their whole future's on the line, they're going to play the best hockey you've ever seen. Now for the next 8 years, you're going to see a 45-point journeyman who can blow me. Canucks coming off their third straight win 4-2 at Chicago on Sunday. Blues had their 2-game winning streak snapped in a 7-6 loss at the Kings on Sunday. The Blues are a healthy group. So maybe this is a mistake. I want the Canucks, but maybe this is a mistake. And we look at who have the Canucks been beating. Like, look, that Kings team, you know what? This is probably a mistake. This is probably maybe I should not. Maybe I should just let this go because the Kings are no team's playing better than the Kings right now in the entire league, and the Blues just look quite good against them. There's been no movement on this game. They open up at minus 108. Blues are now minus 107. The total is at 6.5, minus 125 to the over now, minus 133. Mike M says Vancouver over spot. Mike M says over the past 3 weeks, road teams off and under with a small line are 11-3 to the over. Wow.
Yeah, I mean, and or just looking at this game and just being like, oh shit, and looking at their last few games, why would you not like the over?
I don't think the Canucks. Tortorella and Rick Tocchet, Broad Brindamore, some of these tougher guys. Now, Tortorella wasn't a tough guy on the ice like the other two. Probably shouldn't even be in that group, but we know how he coaches. They demand a certain type of accountability on the road. You have to play a road hockey game. And Tocchet demanded, his biggest demand here is being physical accountability. You can't play like little bitches because you've been playing like little bitches all year, and he's going to call you out. He's going to call you out if you play like that. And what he's getting is he's getting accountability. They're finishing their checks. They're keeping the puck deep. They're cycling down low. They're doing all the things that you want a team to do on the road, and it doesn't predicate itself to over hockey. Now, they have been an offensive team, a lot of the year, and the Blues are a very offensive team, and Mike M has a great trend on the over. So I would never talk anybody off and over here. But that would be the only thing. That would be the only thing that I could say. Why wouldn't you move on it? It's juiced pretty heavy. So you might want to take a 7. I mean, you wouldn't want to probably take a 7. You probably handle the juice. You have to probably eat the juice. But it's just the Canucks are playing a certain style of hockey on the road right now. Let's just go over I know we got to get into NHL here. We're going way too long, but
no, that's all right. We can make something official here, Jimmy the Bag. Vancouver, St. Louis, second period, over 2 minus 119.
So let's just look at the Canucks have played now 5 straight unders on the road. They played 5 straight unders on the road. So they beat the Blackhawks 4-2. They beat the Stars 3-1. They beat the Ducks 2-1. They beat the Kings 3-2. And they lost to the Coyotes 3-2. So, and Gifted Cartel's on the same spot as you. That's, I watch this team play hockey. I watch what Rick Tocchet's getting out of the boys.
So you think on the road they change their identity a bit?
Teams get a little bit sloppy at home.
Mm-hmm.
They get a little comfortable. And when you have certain coaches like Brindamore and Tocchet, you have really tough coaches. You can't do that on the road. You have to play a certain style of hockey on the road or you won't step on that ice, So, but Gifted Cartel on the same look as you. Loshak on the second period, over 1.5. What's that at?
No, 2 minus 119, which maybe I'm gonna roll with it, Jim.
Over 2 at -119.
Yeah.
All right. Second period over 2 at -119. I was going to move on Vancouver, but I guess that's probably not wise. I mean, that was a nice win at Dallas, and then they destroyed San Jose. They barely lose to Vegas. I mean, they're playing good hockey. Deshaun G says JT Miller, Braden Shen, Kuzmenko, Saad, them the 4 reasons why this game's going over. Okay. Get it. Like, I'm cheering for you. I want you to get it. This is all just us getting as much information as possible and working together. Let's move on to 8:30 p.m. Eastern. Dallas Stars, Chicago Blackhawks, my man.
Yeah, I mean, once again, Dallas, of course, was a huge explosive offensive team for a while. In the 3-game homestand recently, they were clearly overvalued. They lost 2 games, and then there was another game where it was close, and they were a big favorite. They won it, but it was close. They're clearly, at least in a short-term slump right now, relative to their market valuations. Chicago lost 5 in a row, overall very bad, but they still got young guys in the lineup. And once again, I understand on paper it looks ugly, but that just feels like the line is too big, right? What was it when I looked at it? It was Chicago plus 235. Let's see quickly if that has moved, because I didn't handicap on the overnight lines. I just used the morning lines. Chicago plus 235 is right about there still.
Yeah, right about there. Yeah, I'm with you. The Blackhawks are just letting go. Lucas Ryan going to be at the Blues Nuggets game. It's going to be awesome, Lucas. Enjoy that, man. A lot of you guys on Canucks money line. That was my plan. Before we talked it out a little further. Stars Blackhawks next up. Stars 39-20 and 14, 21-10 and 5 on the road. The Blackhawks are just letting go. Morasic, their goaltending's been a little better of late. The Stars coming off their second loss in 3 games. 3-1 at home versus Vancouver on Saturday night. They're a rested group, and the Blackhawks just letting go. I thought the same as you. I was like, well, the Stars are going to take care of business here, but do we really want to trust them? I mean, the puck line is basically a pick 'em. Mike M says Chicago's on an 0-25 spot tonight. Also 2-9 to the under and 11-38 to the historical trend. When I looked at this card just before the work gets done, and I know a lot of the work gets done here with us live, but how is it not? How do the Stars not beat this hockey team right now? Let's just take another look at where they stand here in the standings and see the importance, because it's so tight in their division right now. They're separated by a point, aren't they? They're because the Wild and Avalanche won yesterday. I mean, it's so crucial here to not only have home ice advantage, but to stay away from Colorado. I mean, the opportunity to play Seattle or Winnipeg is so enormous. The Stars have to win this hockey game, and I think they do. I think it's probably the Stars -1.5, Pete.
Okay, I hope you cash. I'm going to stay off it. I just, I was thinking about doing the same thing I did with Nashville, maybe, Chicago +2 or something like that, but the lines are a little bit steep for that, so I'm gonna hold off. But I don't know, man. It's just, I don't know.
Coming off that loss, their second loss in 3 games, fighting for they know who they're going to have to play. So if they win the division, they can play for the conference championship. But if they don't win that division, I don't know if they get out the first round. So Fanatical Jim says the puck line at a pick 'em when the line is that wide makes no sense. I think it makes enough sense to me. It's like the Bruins are -360, so the puck line's -135. The Stars are -290, so the puck line's -110. I'm pretty comfortable there. I love it, Slatty. My absolute pleasure, my friend.
You think Chicago is really like you're just? I mean, how bad you have them rated right now?
Well, they're the worst team in the league. They're clearly the worst team in the league. Their power play over the last 10 games is 9.4%. Their penalty killing 75. Their goaltending's been a little better, They've been a little better defensively in accountability, but they won 2 games in regulation over their last 10. The question is, do you trust the Stars? And they're a very hard team to trust. So
the Stars do need this, huh?
Desperately. Both teams they're up against won very easily last night, the Wild and the Avs, very easily. And so they're going to have to start on the road against one of those 2 teams. M13 also saying the Stars are better on the road, 21-10-5 this year on the road. So,
but Chicago, I mean, look at them. All right, they lose to Vancouver at home. Last home game before that, beat Boston at home as a plus 370 dog. Game before that, shut out Ottawa at home as a plus 200 dog. A couple games before that, they had a couple of losses as a huge dog. One of them was to Dallas. Okay. Home game before that, beat Vegas outright as a 240 dog. Game before that, beat Toronto outright as a plus 270 dog. Game before that, beat Arizona. They suck, but as an even money line. Game before that, went to OT against Anaheim. I mean, this is a team that is – game before that, lost by 1 to LA as a plus 200 dog. I mean, this is a team that's just fighting game in and game out at home and getting results, Jim.
Yeah, this is – maybe a lot of those teams were in spots where they didn't need to win. So when you're in this is the worst. When you play the worst team in the league and you don't need to win, you're right. At home they've been good at home. They've been good at home. Bo Jackson, the Stars are 6-2-1 on the road against the Central Division this season. You know what? I'm not gonna. I'll put question marks beside it, but I'm certainly interested in it at this point. But we need to move on because we have NBA popping up here shortly, and we have 3 more games in NHL, and the next one is a big one: Scotiabank Saddledome in Calgary, Alberta. Take it away.
LA rolling. I had them Sunday night at the Pub Sports Radio Pubapalooza 2. -1, looking great the whole early on, but then St. Louis fought back, got a push. Calgary, they're coming off a home win, and they're trying to make the playoffs. They're a fave here. LA now on the road after 7 home games, but LA is clearly a team that has. They're not just getting it done in terms of the win-loss column. They also seem very good mentally right now, and they're not the kind of team that's likely to let down. Now they're a dog on the road against Calgary. Want to hear what you guys have to say about it, but as of right this second, free play, I'd put it on LA.
The market is every time it posts the Flames in a spot where they believe it's favorable for them. I feel like they've been winning those hockey games. They also just lost 8-2 in LA, embarrassing fashion after a nice win against Vegas. Mike M says Calgary at home versus the West 2-9, and the Kings on the road after a win 13-4 to the over. Coin says saw that LA hasn't lost in regulation in a month. Deshaun says LA all day. It's been very wild. If you had told me the Flames would go 17-15-4 this year, I would imagine that they'd have a litany of injuries to explain it. They're without Chris Tanev and Michael Stone on defense right now. That's it. They come off their second win in 3 games, 5-3 at home over the Sharks on Saturday. Their special teams, 28% power play over the last 10, 89.7% penalty killing. One thing is that Jonas Corposalo has been very good for the Kings since he's come over, and Markstrom's been absolutely atrocious, so bad. There's our guy Picks from Dave.
Oh hell yeah, Picks from Dave.
So much fun hanging out with Dave, man. These are friendships that you create that you have now for the rest of your life. They're not. It's different when we all hang out. Like it's fucking special, man.
I'm rooting for Dave to become an elite, known sports bettor and poker player more than anyone else I know personally. Hell yeah! Shout out Picks for Dave. Great to meet you last weekend.
Yeah, it was awesome, man. He says, "Are we all ready to trust the Flames again?" Mike M says Calgary 0-8 as a favorite after a win. I guess I tell you what I'm not going to do is I'm not going to take the Kings, and then I don't want to get in the way of the Kings. So I'm gonna be off this spot. Let's just take a look at the total quickly here, market move wise. So here we go. This total opened up at 6.5 and has dropped down to 6. That makes sense to me. I think this is going to be a pretty passionate hockey game. Deshaun G says Victor Arvidsson, give him a goal tonight. You'll be happy. Trust me. Victor Arvidsson does play a big game, but he's not a big player. I don't bet player props, but you got to be over 6 feet tall in a game that means something to me. You got to be able to get in front of the net. You got to be able to finish your checks, or I don't want to watch you on the ice. So, but I'm gonna copy and paste it, Deshaun. Write it down, Peter. I'm gonna copy and paste it, and I'm gonna cheer you on. Cheer you on here. Copy and paste it. All right, no action for me in Kings Flames. Anything for you, Pete?
No, but that is a very compelling comment there from Deshaun G. For real. All right, I'm gonna hold off.
All right, let's move on to 10 p.m. Eastern. This is a huge hockey game. Edmonton Oilers 42-23-9, 22-11-3 on the road at the Vegas Golden Knights, 46-21-6, 22-14-1 at home. Take it away, Pete. T-Mobile Arena in Las Vegas, Nevada.
Yeah, kind of a lot of games tonight with two teams facing each other that I'm looking to bet on and a little bit afraid of betting against. And here we go once again. Both of these teams. I mean, Edmonton's on a back-to-back, right? They won at Arizona, but they're really winning right now. And it's legit, although it is, often close, but also obviously very high scoring. Vegas also winning, also very high scoring. Ran the numbers on this and just didn't really like anything here.
Slotsy says we need the Oilers in this one. When they lost to Vegas in overtime on Saturday night, I let go of any of my expectations of the Oilers here. They're going to have to win in the playoffs and not in the most comfortable situations. I don't think they're going to win this. It's very unlikely that they win this division. I should go to 538.com and see exactly what it is. But, this is, to me, like, I know that the Oilers have been so much better on the road than they've been at home. And I know that Vegas has been so much better on the road than they've been at home. And you put that together. But still, the Oilers on the second half of a back-to-back on the road, they have to come after, they were in a vulnerable spot against the Coyotes last night. They managed to somehow take care of business. I cannot believe that they're a legitimate favorite in this hockey game. And that makes me think that the Oilers are very, very live. But the Knights have just won 4 straight. They just swept that 3-game Canadian trip against Vancouver, Calgary, and Edmonton. They haven't played since that overtime game win over Edmonton on Saturday night. It's just shocking to me. It's shocking to me. And when this happens,
and Deshaun G once again saying over. Yeah, shout out to Cheshire Cat. We got to keep brisk pace, so I can't joke around. But shout out to Cheshire Cat. Yeah, I think that I might. I'm a little bit tired, Jimmy the Bag, so I think I might be like holding off of some of these just no-brainer obvious plays that the past 2 shows I have pulled the trigger on and got rewarded for. I mean, this is another obviously simple cap, right, Jim? Over.
Yeah, I mean, I get nervous. You know me, like, I get nervous with overs in this type of a situation.
Right, especially when it's 2 good teams. When it's 2 crappy teams that have been scoring a lot, then I would expect that to continue. But when it's 2 good teams facing off against each other, it's a different situation.
So this is at 7 right now, and Lucky Lefty, agreeing with Deshaun G. And Mike M says Vegas has been pretty decent first periods lately, 4-0, and an unrested Oilers team could catch them snoozing early. Very, very interesting. Lucas Ryan, that's the big thing that we did was we just established that we're going to do it every year, right? That's the most important part about this year. So you're going to have lots of chances to run with us, man. But yeah, this is Oilers or no bet. Deshaun G says, scared money don't make money. Look, I hear you, man. I hear you. I'm also on a real good run right now, and if I'm gonna be a little more judgmental over my action, I don't think there's anything wrong with that. So, and I've never bet an over 7 in my entire life. So there you go. Oilers Knights.
Oh man, sorry. No, go ahead.
No, I'm done. I'm rocked.
Lucas R was like, I wanted to shoot photos for Jeff and Jose. Oh man, that would have been great. We could have had a photo shoot. I could have splash that shit all over Bumble and Hinge and all those places, man. Hell yeah. Shout out to you, Lucas R. We'll make it happen. We'll make it happen.
Bobby Bomb play of the day. Bobby Boucher's actions in NBA. We're about to get to NBA, so let's get there a little closer. Next up for us is the final game on the NHL card tonight: Winnipeg Jets at San Jose Sharks.
This is another one where it's you have a big favorite and you're thinking, how is this line so big? But this is one game different from all the others on this card, Jim, where if you gave me a free play right now before hearing what you all would say about it, I would throw it on Winnipeg, not the dog. Winnipeg is okay, far from great. San Jose can barely buy a win. It's not as big of a line as the other games on this card, and I am inclined to trust Winnipeg here way more than I trust all the other big favorites in similar spots on this card. Haven't bet it yet, but definitely leaning Winnipeg.
There's our guy Elio, aka Buck Knife.
Hell yeah,
we missed Buck Knife in San Antonio this year. Great friend. So. Mike M says, if you guys have followed for a while, San Jose on the same night as Vegas has gone 1-22 this season. Ron Crawford liking Jets in regulation, Rocco Rogers liking Jets in regulation, and Slatsy also saying that the under 7-3-1 in last 11 in the Oilers Vegas series. Hellebuck versus Reimer, fading the Sharks at home has been the best bet in the NHL this year. They've won 6 games in regulation, 6 of 36 games in regulation at home. Just horrific. Reimer, he's not a starting goaltender in the NHL, but they're not playing good hockey. 5-5-0 over the past 10, 11.4% power play, 80% penalty killing. Slatsy says Sharks in full tank mode. They've won 1 game in regulation over their past 10. Their power play down to 10.7%. I tell you what, if Erik Karlsson wins the Norris Trophy, I will never follow Norris Trophy award ever again. I will never follow it ever again. I will never talk about it ever again. You can't win a Norris Trophy when your team is the worst team in the league. They've won 1 game over their past 15. It doesn't matter how many points you score. Are you helping your team win hockey games? Because that's what the Norris Trophy is. That's what the best defenseman. And he's such a big favorite to win it, and it makes me so angry. It's such a slap in the face to all the Norris Trophy winners of years past, and he does not deserve it, and he might have to go on the ski mask list. Because I'll tell he does not deserve to be a Norris Trophy winner this year on a team that's won 6 games in regulation at home, and you're the best defenseman. It just makes me want to smash some. It's such bullshit. Winnipeg had their modest 2-game winning streak snapped in a 4-1 loss at the Kings on Saturday night. Sharks coming off their 9th straight loss, 5-3 at Calgary on Sunday night. Their last win was against these Jets here in San Jose. So I think that who cares who the best offensive defenseman is? I think that's an interesting thing that I don't think I've heard. But who cares who the best who's the best defenseman? It's always been that way. When Bobby Orr was the best offensive defenseman, not only was he the best defenseman, but his teams were winning cups and winning regular season championships. It's absolutely garbage, but we got to get an NBA. Here, quickly, I think you're right. I think the Jets have to win this hockey game and will win this hockey game. I think that they should probably be a first period -0.5 bet at plus money, and they should be a -1 bet as well. It's just this is another team where their season's on the line, and they're so much better than the team they're playing. I mean, I just let's see. Just go quickly on. Let's look at the wild card standings right here in the West.
I'm gonna take Winnipeg, but just a slight word of caution about taking San Jose first period. Recently they got blown out by Washington and St. Louis at home. Take a wild guess who won the first period in both of those games. They do tend to start out a little bit tough and then just get absolutely obliterated later on.
Wow, no, okay, that's great stat that I did not have. I'll be on the Jets on the -1 line, and it just seems like a must-win situation. And they just lost in this building last time they were here, so I like. All right, let's review all action.
Jim, put it on for me. Winnipeg -1, -123. That's Heritage. -1, -123 as an official play, and I'm also leaning strongly towards Winnipeg in the second period, which would be about -150 or so.
Jets -1 and -123 in a lean.
-1, -123. Yes.
I like it. All right. Okay. Let's take a look at all our action here in NHL before we get into NBA. And also, give a shout out. We're going to give him many shout outs out because we just had the pleasure of hanging with him. But the fact that he would be ready to go at 7 or 8, he's got to wake up so early because he's in LA. The fact that he's going to do NBA with us on Tuesday, that he cares enough when he could be so exhausted and could be sleeping and all that stuff. It's just another point of showing the character of our next guest. The guy is just, he's got so much character. I'm so thankful that I'm his friend, man. Okay, but let's review action. So Loshak has Predators +2 at -118. I have some interest in the under Nashville, Boston, but I think just interest. Ron Crawford NHL spreadsheet play today is on Carolina. Again, I have some interest in the under 6 in Tampa, Carolina, but I don't need to move much there. Loshak's on the Red Wings first period at +137. Oh, dope. Bo Jackson just sent me some clinching scenarios for tonight. Thank you, Bo. And Dave Redling with a very interesting parlay here. Penguins, Bruins, Rangers, Stars at +327. Deshaun G also looking at Kyle Connor over 3.5 shots on goal in the Jets Sharks game. Red Wings first period for Pete. I want the Penguins -1. I have a vividness bias with Sidney Crosby when everything's on the line to make sure that his team is going to go out there and win a hockey game. And we saw him do that in Colorado. We just see him. They need to win this game. They're on the road. And I don't know. So Rangers first period -0.5 for me. Peter Loshak's on the first period over 1.5 in Columbus, New York Rangers. I'm going to go on the Flyers -1, even though it goes up against some trends. Loshak is second period over 2 in Canucks Blues. My plan was to bet Vancouver. I'm not going to. I have some. Maybe I let the Stars -1.5 go. Maybe I should just let it go. I'm going to let it go. You're right. It was other than the Canucks game. They've been playing well at home. They've been beating good hockey teams at home, and the Stars aren't playing good hockey. Deshaun G liking Victor Arvidsson for a goal tonight in Kings Flames. We've stayed off that spot, and the Oilers Knights. They're fascinating hockey games that I wish I had action on. Then I have the Jets -1. Both Pete and I have the Jets -1. Slatsy says, you think Paul Coffey was a good defensive man? That was all offense and points, and he won 3 Norris trophies. Yes, you're absolutely right, Slats. And it wasn't all him, but look at the record that those Oilers teams had. So you're absolutely right that was all offense. But when your team is the best team in the league, then your best defenseman is allowed to win the Norris Trophy, in my estimation. But you make a good point. Okay, let's move on to NBA and bring on your next guest. God, it was just 24 hours ago, we were sitting at Jim's Diner, and I was so hungover, and I had a eggs Benedict in front of me, and I was just trying to eat it. And I laughed at that breakfast harder than I think I've laughed at any breakfast I've been at in the last few years. I laughed. I couldn't stop laughing, and the stories were so magical. And this next guest is so magical. So let's bring him on to the show right now. I've got a. Do you want to hit me with a private chat there, Jose, my friend? Jose is found. He's out the ditch and he's good to go. Is it okay? Can I give me the thumbs up to? Okay, of course. Sorry, I forget. Yeah. Please welcome to the show from Los Angeles, California, Wham Bam 3000.
I can't believe I missed that breakfast, Jim. Sounds like it was great.
It was nice, man. Shout out to Slaughter, man, taking care of the tab. Appreciate him for that, bro. Always love. Appreciate my boy Jimmy. Sonny, man, it's hilarious, bro. Shout out to Sonny. At that table, too. I looked over at Sonny. He said he was going to the game. I said, hey, man, Jokic, man. Triple-double, bro.
You did.
That's what saved me yesterday. So shout out to that. Let's get to that.
Yeah, that he flew right to that game, the Nuggets game. Nice. We had to start getting lit at the airport because you got to get it started, or you're just going to be you're just going to be sad. You're just going to be sitting there sweating out booze, sad. So he started drinking heavy at the airport to get right, and he was first class flying.
That's what I'm talking about. Better living.
Yeah, man. These Tuesdays, since I got back on the show, have helped turn around my NBA season. And I've still got lots of climbing to do to get out of the hole that I dug. But we are on our way. And shout out to Kong's Clips. Now a member of Weeby Pubbin. Love it. Respect Kong's Clips. That means a ton to us. Thank you for thinking of us. Wham getting a lot of love in the chat. And Astute Chaos can get us rolling into this one. He is Boston, Washington. First half over 115 and a half. I'm going to copy and paste that. But let me set a table. Hand it over to Pistol Pete Loshak, who will then hand it over to Wham. Bam. Boston Celtics 52-23, 24-14 on the road at the Wizards 33-42, 17-19 at home. Capital One Arena, Washington, D.C. Boston 4-1 over their past 5, playing at the pace of the 100.6 possessions game, while Washington has completely fallen off. 1-4, 98.40 possessions a game. It just feels like deja vu. We get to the end of the year. This basketball team needs to win games. And he's out with an injury. Monte Morris out. Kyle Kuzma out. Too bad. Let's pull up the line history here and the cash flow and see what we are dealing with. Move over here and get NBA up here and see what we are dealing with here in this spot. The Wizards have disappointed me down the stretch. I made a terrible Wizards to make the playoffs bet. Not even a big price, plus 180 or some shit. And, it sucks. They're hurting me. They open up as 11-point dogs. They're now 11.5-point dogs. Another half point towards the Celtics. This opens up at 227. It's dropped all the way down to 223.5. And let's move over to the cash flow here on this one. Sorry, here we go. Money. We don't talk money in NHL because we don't care about it there. But let's talk about it here in NBA. In NBA, we have 31% of the tickets and 75% of the cash on the Wizards, but the market's not moving towards them. Total wise, this opened up, as I said, 227.5, or some offshores opened it up at 228.5. 13% of tickets and 82% of cash on the under. So you have huge bets on the under, and the market respecting that. And Slaughter giving Wham Bam a shout out for that Salt Lick barbecue that they drove to right before the flight. Yeah. Yeah, he had to make
sure. I missed the breakfast and the Salt Lick barbecue. Oh, man. I want to go back next week, man.
Get some claps. Shout out to the Salt Lick.
Boston. No, Cheshire, we don't have, it's been a rough, look, we've been going hard. We've been going real hard. We don't have graphics here for this show, but they'll be right back. They'll be right back next. So I apologize, Cheshire. So here, Boston comes in off his third straight win, 137-93 at home over the Spurs on Sunday night. Jaylen Brown went for 41. Tatum with the hip injury. Pritchard with the heel injury. Wizards coming off their 5th loss in 6 games, 114-104 at Toronto on Sunday. Pistol Pete Loshak, what are your thoughts here?
Man, I don't know. I wish I could just copy and paste the comment section words into my mouth here. Obviously Boston, awesome. They want the 1 seed. Wizards are banged up and they suck. And man, I don't know.
Oh, I thought he was just pausing for effect. Didn't you think he was just pausing for effect? I was certain I was just pausing for effect. We were holding on because he was going to say, I don't know. Oh, there he's back. Okay, he's back.
All right, okay. I would probably take the points right now if you gave me a free play on it.
Yeah, I agree. There's our guy Noli Knows in the house. What do you think about this spot? Wham Bam, Celtics, Wizards.
Screaming Jaylen Brown all day in this game. That's how I feel. Last 3 meetings against the Wizards, he's been able to go over the 35 points, rebounds, and assists all 3 games. His log is at 36 the last game, 24-10 the game before, 32, 7, and 5. All times being able to get over the points, rebounds, and assists going up against this Wizards team that's, like you said, banged up pretty bad as of late. Haven't been able to cover. And then also you getting this team in the Celtics, they begin big numbers. They have actually been able to cover 4 of the last 5 games. So I kind of lean towards the Celtics here. I think they're going to take towards the end of this season series, try to get that jail alluded there. But Jaylen Brown is the official play for me. Over points, rebounds, and assists, 35.5. Hit 6 of the last 7 games, averaging 42.9 points, rebounds, and assists in that same span. And again, he's been over it last 3 meetings against the Wizards. Just feel like something I gotta pull. So over 35.5. Jaylen Brown, that's what we're gonna do in the first play.
And what is the juice with that?
I got it -110. I think we could get Bovada's laying -113 now. So if we get better than that, -110, I think is what you could get probably at both.
So
I haven't checked it though.
We expect Tatum in the lineup.
Yeah, so I think Tatum is probable. Another reason why I like Jaylen Brown over Tatum, I think Tatum is going to have a good game as well. But 23% towards the 3 over the last 5 games for him, 43% as far as field goal percentage for the full thing. It's just like this guy's been playing the best lately as far as Jaylen Brown, and he's been more efficient. 53% over the last 6 games, 43% from 3. I think Jaylen Brown is going to get that bag for us today. So give me that 35.
Luke McCann is on Brogdon over 18.5 points, rebound, assists, but he's also looking at Jaylen Brown over 2.5 threes at -120.
I like that, bro.
All right. So, and then Saturate says, at what point do the Celtics stop trying to catch Milwaukee? Danny Lopez says it's Ramadan, isn't it? How does that impact this play? Is it?
He hooped, bro. He hooped last time too, and I think it was last week, right? Wasn't it?
I don't know. I'm gonna get that. That's information.
I'm not an expert. I'm not gonna lie.
Ramadan.
It's
a month. It's a whole month, dude.
I got you.
It started on last Wednesday, and it's 30 days.
Let's get it.
So, wow. So it's the fasting and all that. Interesting. Important note though.
I remember last year him and Kyrie was really playing really well around that time. So I know both of those guys, not saying indulging, but they participate in that.
All right, let's keep rolling. The action is in. Next up, we have a couple different things here. We have the Bobby Bomb play of the day, Hawks first quarter plus a half. That gets us going. We also, our friend Dan Kelly. Dan Kelly has given us his lone NBA pick of the day. And we all know his skill set. And his is second quarter Cavs. He's cheated it to -2, alternate line, -2 to get +143. And Lucky Lefty saying you fast during the day and you eat at night, it will not impact their game. It's more spiritual then.
That's what they know to call it, intermittent fasting, and it's recommended that you should live that way every day.
Most definitely.
So we have first quarter plus a half from Bobby Boucher, and Dan Kelly has given us Cavs second quarter -2 at +143. And I know he's not here with us right now, but let's give a shout out to Mr. Dan Kelly. We have lots coming in. BJ, $1,000 2-unit best bet is on the Hawks +1.5. Justin McElvey is taking the Hawks on the money line. Oh, no, sorry, the Cavs. So Justin McElvey's on the other side. Okay, sorry. Let me copy and paste that. Sorry, I got a little too caught up in that. Let me copy and paste this so I have it all in front of me. All right, let's set the table. Cavs 48-28, 18-20 on the road. Hawks 37-38, 21-16 at home. The Hawks, they just alternate wins and losses. It feels like all year long. We're at State Farm Arena here. Cleveland 4-1 over their past 5, playing at the pace 94.40 possessions a game. Atlanta 2-3, playing at the pace of 101.30 a game. Sorry, Swiss Hortons to Strawberry Hill told me to take the Hawks money line. Yeah, I have very little recollection of that either, so I apologize. All right, let's get into the line history here. This opened up with the get over here. We go. Get to the market. Sorry, it's not. They've changed this up on me a little bit. It opened up Atlanta as 1-point dogs. They're now 1-point favorites. Maybe we'll get a better idea with the money line. Atlanta opened up at minus 101. They're now minus 113. Totals wise, this opened up at 234, and it's gone up to 237.5. So it's gone up 3.5 points there. Let's take a look at the cash flow for this one. We have 50-50 and 53% of. Oh, that's the total. So the total is 50-50, 53% of. Let's go to all markets. 53% cash on the over, so no help there. But on the side, we have 52% of the tickets on the Hawks and 94% of the cash. Wow, big bets coming in on the Hawks. 18,900 tickets in. Cleveland comes in off its fourth straight win, 108-91 at home over Houston on Sunday. Jared Allen went for 24. Donovan Mitchell went for 22. And he, by the way, 27 points, 1.5 steals, and 200-plus threes on 37% shooting. Only 3 players have ever done that in NBA history, and he's going to be the 4th. That's Steph Curry, Paul George, and James Harden. No one's done it since 2018-19. That's how good he's been. Hawks coming off their second loss in 3 games, 123. I don't know what I had. 119. 119 at home versus Grizzlies on Sunday. And Capella has just been a monster. And Kongwu and Capella have been very big. Yes, James. Yes, I did. We bet it too. It was, he's going to have to face the best fighters in the game if he wants the respect that he wants. And it was a tough matchup for him. And we got him at plus 200 and didn't turn out well for us. NJ Striker, I did survive, my friend. Pistol Pete, what do you think here, Cavs Hawks?
This whole card is a little bit iffy for me. I'm reading the comments section here. Justin McIvy says he loves the Cavs, but Troy Torrance likes the Hawks. And then we got BJ, who said his best bet is the Hawks. He got it at plus 1.5. Now it's down to plus 1. Capping the Cappers, I'm starting to think that maybe the Hawks are the play here. Strong opinions on both sides. Me personally, I have no idea. It's obviously I just have no opinion as far as I have no opinion. Capping the Cappers purely, I'm thinking Hawks.
Yeah, this game is very interesting. I kind of want to cap the Cappers here too because I don't see the Hawks winning this game originally. My first thought was, well, the Cavs are playing a really good hoop right now. Like you mentioned, Jim, they've been alternating wins and losses like, crazy. Maybe they get a double loss here, but, obviously they lost the last game, so it will be meaning that they're going to win this game. So I think that my problem here is that Saddiq Bey went so crazy on them last time that they played his first game as a Hawk against them. 19 points. He had 53 points. And then, 5 for 8 from 3, bro. 62% from 3. I mean, and he hasn't really been doing that lately. He's shooting back. Yeah, my son's going crazy right now.
I always think it's coming from Pete's apartment. I'm always sure there's like
no, what happened is the tablet died on him. The tablet died. He started fucking throwing shit. But I got
anything kid and love oriented. Any sounds of that are not coming from my apartment. Anything insanity or crime related is probably
after the Panther attack. I thought for sure that it was like a praying mantis in Pete's apartment. Like that.
That just means I need to give him my phone when he comes back. But no, so Saddiq Bey hasn't been doing that lately, averaging just about 10 points. So, I mean, bro, do I expect him to have that same type of impact that he had last game, 5 for 8 for 3, 19 points? I don't think so. I think that was the most deciding factor. The weakness with this damn Cavs team is that they don't have that wing presence like Saddiq Bey. That's their weakness here. So, it's kind of a game that I want to watch. This could be possibly a playoff matchup, too. So, maybe we want to pay attention a little bit more into this game more than ever. So I'm gonna stay away from this game as far as props wise and side. I just think that it's too close because my heart is telling me and my mind is telling me the Cavs is going to win this game convincingly. But like you said, it's kind of one of those NBA weird games. The Cappers are all liking the Hawks. I respect you guys. I'm not going to jump in front of y'all. That's how.
Yeah, not all of them. Justin McIvy liking the Cavs, and it turns out that he is one. It's a Hawks are my team. He goes, I'm a lifetime Hawks fan, but Rebenga for Cavs, et cetera, Jimmy the Bag. Whenever someone's like, this is my team, trust me, they're going to lose. That's one of the strongest opinions in sports betting that I know of. Trot Wam also doesn't really like them. And then we got Deshaun G, who likes the Hawks, but only first period and first half, not full game.
I like those
stats
with
it's McElvey too.
McElvey.
I know that when we have these cappers, in our chat for life, that we get their name down. We did go over it a week ago just to ensure that we had it right. And BJ says I live in Atlanta, and he is on the
Hawks.
Yeah. So,
okay.
What?
I don't think I've ever encountered this before.
This is too much.
Wow.
But listen to Vitalis, or as you used to call him, Vitalis.
Yeah.
Hawks in 8th place and need this game. Cavs already have 4th locked up. Hawks have to win to stay in front of the Bulls. The Hawks are a tough team to trust.
Man, tell me about it. You know they are, bro. I mean, as far as the standings, let me pull up the standings here. I don't remember them being. Is this a crucial game that much?
Oh my God, BJ and Justin McIvy. Sorry, go ahead, Trot Wam.
Oh no, I was just saying the Hawks need this game. I mean, they're in the 8th spot for the play-in. They're 3 games behind the Heat.
But they're re-raising. Justin McElvey comes back with, I never fade my team. This is only my 2nd time doing it, and I'm 1-0. So he re-raised. Oh my God. I feel like I'm watching a live poker stream here with 2 guys just like raising and re-raising. Wow.
All right. Well, I am not going to move on it. This is I'm going to watch it intently, and we'll see. Because it's BJ up against Justin McElvey. I mean,
yeah, that's crazy.
It's a heavyweight bout, man. Justin McElvey says 94% of the money. So you tell me Vegas getting hit tonight? That's a lot of cash on the Hawks. The money line's the same way, because when it's lower like this, we can talk about the money line. 68% of tickets on the Hawks, 89% of cash.
Then I'm thinking, I don't know. Mike M, voice of reason, as always, says Hawks have come. Where's he saying? Hawks 6-0 first half against the Cavs, and Deshaun G liking the first period of first half, not the full game. This has been an intense capping the cappers situation. I think I'm going to do it. I think I'm going to take Hawks first half only.
And Leonard Porsche, also a voice of reason. Sounds like a great game to catch both sides live.
Yeah. There you go.
Probably so, bro. That was a good call.
All right, let's.
All right, Jim, sorry. Let me just.
What are we locking in for you, Pete?
I want to take the Hawks first half. Let me find the money line here. Where is that? The Hawks first half. Minus 113. Pinnacle. Make that official.
Hawks first half for Pete. And then we also don't forget we've had Dan Kelly talk in the chat how bad the Cavs have been in third quarters this year. They've been really bad in third quarters. So that's another thing to keep in mind with the live action and what everybody wants to do. Troy Torrance says Hawks first quarter is his top play. And with Jared Allen, I initially was like, I don't think he's going to be in the lineup. And the more I capped it, I started thinking that he was going to be in the lineup. Wham, can you touch on? I'll pull up Roto too, but do we think that he's going to end up in the lineup tonight?
And we're talking about
Jared Allen with his groin issue.
So Jared Allen, lastly, I seen hobbled his right groin strain. They've been having him in and out the lineup recently. He did just found his way back, right? He just found his way back into the lineup. So me just knowing that much about that and the history here, I think I wouldn't be surprised if he's not playing, but let me look and see what I see recently. As of 1 minute ago, he's let me see. So yeah, they just have him really as a questionable tag game time decision. I don't think that this game is so fucking crazy, bro. This game is so crazy, man. I'm not gonna lie, bro. Like Jared Allen means a lot, bro. Jared Allen means a lot, but it's gonna be a lot more factors in than just Jared Allen, I think, in this game. But you definitely want Jared Allen if you want the Cavs. If you want Atlanta, man, hop on it now if you don't think he plays. Honestly, I ain't gonna think he plays here because he's been in and out the lineup. If I'm someone in the organization, I'm gonna say let's hold him off, bro, because he's a big key point in us moving forward in the playoffs. So I'll try to hold him out. It's only a few games left, and someone did mention that they said the Cavs need the spot, or did they say the Hawks?
No,
I think they said the Hawks, right?
Only the Hawks in the spot. Cavs
only the Hawks, yeah, because the Cavs right now being half a game or a game and a half out the third spot, I don't think they really care too much. Being that top 4 is all that matters.
I think so too. Lucas Ryan says this is more intense than the Portuguese knife fight. All right, yeah. And of course, McElvey says I'll be in the chat tomorrow. We'll talk about this again, win or lose. That's what we do. And there's nothing wrong with being on the wrong side of each other. It's part of the fun. It's part of capping. Like, it's just all right. Let's move on because this game is also very difficult. 7:30 p.m. Eastern. Miami Heat 40-35, 15-21 on the road at the Toronto Raptors. 37-38, 25-14 at home at Scotiabank Arena in Toronto, Ontario. And Jimmy Butler has been upgraded to probable. Miami 3-2 over their past 5, playing the pace at 94.1 possessions a game, while Toronto 3-2 playing the pace 98.90 possessions a game. And Toronto has a chance to get back to 500. I think it was got to be early December the last time we were there. We were there, like 13-13. I think that was the last time we were there. Let's take a look at the line history here for this one. This one opened up with the Raptors -2.5. Now they're -3.5. Totals wise, this opened up at 219 and it's gone up to 220. Let's get over to the cash flow for this one here. We have the 61% of the tickets and 84% of the cash on the Toronto Raptors, and the market's moved towards them. Then we have 29% of the tickets, 62% cash on the under, and it's gone up a point. There's our guy, LJ from H-Town. We talk about how much fun these guys are. LJ's just money in the bank, man. I enjoy his company enormously. We also
had a funny, hilarious conversation with him about comparing the cities in Texas while we were driving over. That was hilarious. Shout out to LJ. I wish everyone else could have heard it.
Hey, LJ take that shit serious, Pete. Don't he? He takes that shit serious.
He was slamming one city in Texas. I'm not going to name the city, but it was hilarious to listen to.
Heat come in off there having their 2-game winning streak snapped in a very embarrassing 129-100 loss at home to Brooklyn on Saturday night. It was just shocking. Absolutely shocking. Hero went for 23. The Raptors are 3 games back of the Heat. The Heat are in 7th in the Eastern Conference, and they still have a chance to avoid the play-in tournament. They still have a chance. I mean, even though they lost to Brooklyn. Raptors coming off their second straight win, 114-104 at home over the Wizards on Sunday. An undermanned Wizards squad. It wasn't convincing. I mean, it was comfortable, but not convincing. So they won 5 of 7. They got 29 from Anunoby, 28 from Van Fleet, 19-11 from Spicy P. They got Scotty Barnes back after missing 2 games with a wrist injury for 13. And BJ says, look ahead spot for the Heat. I could only look Toronto in this spot. What do you think about this spot here, Pete? Heat Raptors?
I don't know. At first glance, obviously, their defense has slipped a little bit coming off a blowout loss. So my first thought was, Miami first quarter, but I'm seeing everyone on the opposite side of it for good reason. And if it's not a game where they're going to try to reestablish their identity, at least in the beginning, then maybe it's not. Maybe they're going to try to do it in their next game against, I don't know. It's the first of a back-to-back, right? So they play Toronto and then they go to play the Knicks. So not exactly sure what to expect from Miami in terms of like their motivation and intentions. I was thinking Miami first quarter might be a play just to clamp down on defense a little bit and out of embarrassment from their last loss.
If you were looking at these 2 games, the Raptors and the Heat, isn't the Raptors the game you want to win? You need to win because the next game's going to be tougher.
Yeah, I was thinking Heat first quarter, but reading what Troy Torrance and LJ from H-Town have to say, and it's
Also, Justin McAfee played the Heat +3, not as heavy as the Cavs. So take it away for us here, Wham Bam. A big game for us up here, Heat Raptors.
Yeah, it's a big game. Last game, I think a lot of people like the Hawks because there's not as much motivation for that particular game for the Cavs. But this game is totally different. Both teams have a lot at stake here. You mentioned, bro, losing that game to the Brooklyn Nets. They probably wouldn't even care too much about this game if they were able to win that game because they would have been nicely set at that 6th spot but now they're at the 7th. It seemed like the Raptors' opportunity to keep them in the play-in as far as the Heat. And let's be real, bro. This is a bad matchup, bro. This is a bad matchup for them, man. They don't want to run into this Heat team. I think over the last few games, if I'm not mistaken, 5 of the last 6 games they've been able to cover against this matchup, and they've been able to win 4 of those last 6 outright as far as the Toronto Raptors. Some of those being underdogs at the 3 spot, and last time they were able to win, they were 3-point favorites as well. So, I mean, if anybody know me about last year on with the Heat, or even the year with they got so far with the bubble, I always thought that was overrated, overhyped. Jimmy Butler is a good player. He gets to the bucket just as much as Austin Reeves have been over the last few weeks. You know, it's very reliant on his game. If he doesn't get calls, bro, Jimmy Butler is Jimmy average, and that's just what it is. I'm not trying to be a hater or anything. It's just the numbers tell me that's what it is. So I think that they can find themselves winning these next 2 games, though, because they're one of those darlings. I mean, for some strange reason with the NBA, they love the Heat. But in this particular matchup, if I'm really going to bet with the looks of everything, I kind of told you last week I kind of liked the Raptors, and I should have bet them. They were pretty much a good spot. Today I'm thinking the same thing because of the matchup, and I think that Toronto has the wing and a length that's going to try to trouble these undrafted kids on the other side of the Miami. But I wouldn't be surprised if Jimmy has 20 fucking free throws today, bro. So it's a wobbler, just like the last game. I think that both of these games, since they're so late into the season, and I think we have other opportunities to make money on this card. I didn't want to put anything on this game. So if I had to make a bet, though, I'm going to go with the Raptors. I think they are going to probably win this game convincingly here. So because they have the better matchup. And then if we see them in the play-in against the Heat, we know exactly what to do. The Raptors are going to do the same thing again.
Yeah, God, this is you're getting 2 different sides of the coin here again. Because I agree with Troy's cap here. It says Raptors have been home for a week now. Last game at home in a critical spot. Then they get 2 days off before Philly. And then you have Razor saying Miami plus the points are nothing. He says, who would ever lay points taking Toronto? Not me.
You leaning Toronto, Jim?
The Heat concern me. They concern me coming off an embarrassing loss. You know, Lowry's questionable. You know, does he get in?
Yeah, what does he do?
They beat the Knicks so, we were all on the Heat in that spot. And you know, and I just, after losing that badly in a game that, you know, we deemed as important to them, I find it difficult to expect them to drop the bar. But like when I go over these 2 rosters, I think the Raptors are a better basketball team. Now we don't have we don't have, you know, Jimmy Butler when in the most crucial moments of a basketball game. We don't have a closer like they have a closer. Maybe you could say that. And you know, we don't have a hero on the perimeter. You know, the Heat have things, but I see this as I see the Raptors as just just not by a lot, but just a better, more complete basketball team. And so I'd like to back them here. But
all right, well, I'll just make one pick official. I'll throw it on there. I just bet it. Heat first half +2 -108. Current line Pinnacle. Heat first half +2 -108. You can make that official, Jim.
Shout out to Slow Jam. Shout out to Pete. Y'all heard my breakdown prior to me knowing who the refs are in this game. I said it. The Heat are darlings. If we see Jimmy Butler get 20 free throws, they're going to win the game. Scott Foster is in today for the shout out to Slow Jams for giving us that information. I did confirm my godfather, Scott Foster, is in. This is definitely a game that, just knowing that alone, I like the Heat now, bro. I like the Heat now because the fix can be in this game, and that's why I would lie too. So I'm staying away. Shout out to my boy saying that. Stay away, Wham. Yeah, I'm going to stay away from this game, but now free bet is going to get reversed. I'm taking the Heat.
Taking the Heat full game?
I would take the Heat. Give me a free play right now. Taking money line Heat.
Well, I'll be watching this closely as well. Okay. So we have LJ from H-Town on Raptors first quarter. We have Pistol Pete Loshak on Heat first half +2. And there is Scotty Foster in the chat. So your godfather is in our chat, and he has said Heat all day. Wham.
And shout out to Vitalis in the comment section. We were just talking about you before. Hell yeah.
All right, let's roll on. You talk about your godfather, and he shows right up in the chat.
Appreciate you.
All right.
We got to get Scott Foster to one of these Pubapaloozas one of these years, man.
Oh, yeah.
Man, that would be a fun time.
You got to sign
He also
MDAs,
has a foot fetish, too, so he'd fit in perfectly.
Nice.
Got to sign the MDA. If you could get in, sign the MDA. We'll talk about it.
8 p.m. Eastern. Next up, Orlando Magic 32-43, 13-24 on the road at Memphis Grizzlies, 47-27, 32-5 at home. FedEx Forum in Memphis, Tennessee. Orlando 4-1 over their past 5, playing the pace 99.9 possessions a game. Memphis 5-0, playing the pace 98.50 possessions a game. Let's take a look at the line history for this one. We have a big move towards the Orlando Magic. Let me move over here. There we go. We have I guess not. The offshore, some of the offshores that put out the lines early with limits opened this up at 9. But Pinnacle didn't. Pinnacle opened it up this morning at 7, so it hasn't moved. It's moved 1 cent towards Orlando. Total-wise, this opened up at 233.5, and it's dropped all the way down to 229. All the way down to 229. Let's take a look at the cash flow for this one. We have 63% of tickets and 84% of cash on the Magic. Then total-wise, we have 44% of tickets and 89% cash on the under, and we've seen that sharp money move that under. Magic coming off their third straight win, 119-106 at home to Brooklyn on Sunday. Magic beat Brooklyn, badly in the paint, 58-38, and 8 Magic players in double figures. I mean, this is a roster going in the right direction. And Jalen Suggs returned. He had missed 4 games with a concussion. He's missed 29 games this year. And he looked really good. He didn't play much, 24 minutes, but he looked really good when he was out there. Grizzlies coming off their 6th straight win, 123-119 at Atlanta on Sunday. The Friday night double up that we did on the Grizzlies was, I loved the Caps so much. I loved sitting back drunk, watching that money come in. I loved everything about the Grizzlies on Friday night with Ja back, and they put up 151 points for us. Ooh-wee. Desmond Bane had 25 in the win over Atlanta. Ja played 29 minutes. He got to start. He scored 27 points. Jaren Jackson Jr. and Tillman each had 15 and 8. This is a team, even with Steven Adams not around, I don't think they can bully the Magic can bully in the paint like they did against Brooklyn. So and Luke Kennard, he put up 30 on Friday, against Houston. So here we go. They've won 11 straight games at home. They have the NBA's best home record. What do you think here, Pete? Take it away, Magic Grizzlies.
Troy Torrance talking about how, the Magic have been great at ATS as a road dog against elite opponents. I mean, the Magic have been pretty great ATS in general recently, even as a favorite at home against Washington. They covered by a margin. Brooklyn, it's just right now it feels like it's hard to fade Orlando on a bet. Memphis has been okay, kind of middling. I'm not sure what to make of it, but yeah, free bet. I'd put it on Orlando.
Yeah, I guess I would too, but there are some good points coming up here from the chat. Troy Torrance says Grizzlies on the front end of a back-to-back with a revenge spot versus Clippers tomorrow. Magic are great against the spread as a road dog versus elite opponents. He's on Magic plus 7.5. Tommy didn't just say that's on Magic plus 8 and plus 7.5. Kong's Clips also likes the Magic. And then Kong's Clips, though, does wonder about the angle of support for the shooting that happened in Nashville. I'm sure there'll be a moment of silence. The interesting points. Let's hear what Wham Bam has to say. Take it away, Wham. Magic Grizzlies.
Yeah, this game right here, I got action here. I'm taking it with the Memphis Grizzlies, bro. And the reason being that I would know we have Ja doubtful for today. We have Ja doubtful. That's automatic. I'm gonna make sure I get this situated for the band because he's gonna go crazy. So I know Ja is doubtful here.
Yeah.
I know that the Magic's been playing pretty well, been able to beat Brooklyn, New York. and then Washington there, losing to the Lakers. This Memphis Grizzlies team has obviously been offensively kicking ass. The thing about this Magic team is that they've been playing great defensively, being number 4 and holding opponents' points in the paint, 45.6 points over the last 5 games. Also being one of the better defensive rated teams as well. I think they're ranked 3rd in defensive rating over the last 5 games. So being a lot better on the defensive side than the Memphis Grizzlies. But for the most part, they haven't been a whole offensive juggernaut or anything. They've just been doing it on the defensive end, holding opponents to defense. I don't think they are going to be able to hold this team that's shooting pretty much lights out from 3 over the last few games. As far as the last 7 games, you got Luke Kennard shooting 60% from 3. You got Tyrus Jones, who's most likely going to get another bump in the minutes, who's been the greatest backup point guard in the league, obviously showing that he's a starter in this league, shooting 48% in that same span. So I think you got these guys just shooting too well, bro. Too well. You got to worry about too much. You got to worry about the offense to be all the way on point. And I think the matchup kind of helps Memphis, even without Ja here. Obviously, Ja is going to be a big focal point here. So him being doubtful, it's kind of, most likely going to be out here. I don't think they're going to press him. But if he plays, it's only going to be more people to get points in the paint. I think my main concern is how well Orlando's have been able to guard the paint and the perimeter. I think one thing is going to give for sure the perimeter will, because of the high shooting from the Grizzlies as of late. But I got the Grizz, man. I think they win by at least 10 points. Took the -7.5 last night. I'll take the 7 as far as official play for the show, whatever the case. But I got 7.5, so I need them to win by 8, just like Eric Jones said. So I like them to come out here and hold it down. Possibly have a wire-to-wire spot here, because I just think that they're going to show that they're the better team, and they already have ground up, so much ground already on the Kings for that second spot. So I don't think they're really too much worried there either, but they're going to get this win convincingly, I believe, against the Magic. So give me the Memphis Grizzlies -7.5 is official play for what I got.
Well, you can get 6.5 now at Bookmaker and Bet Chris.
Let me get that. I'll take that.
Yeah, interesting. That's at -115, but it's clearly moving in that direction.
I had a thought. I wasn't going to say it because I felt it was a little bit embarrassing, but now I see Deshaun G echoing it. So he says, I might take the under. That's what I was thinking, Jim.
Yeah, I just feel like it's gotten away from us.
Right.
I just, we all have different rules about how we handle market moves, but this opened up, 5.5 hours ago at 233.5.
Yeah, that's not good to see.
It just, you can't, I think that our edges are too small.
Yeah.
In NBA to take it once it's moved forward. But then we already saw Astute Chaos take the first half under 118.
Yeah.
So he, it's, and Kong's Clip says Memphis wire to wire plus 138 might take that angle. Saturated looking at Banchero points over 19.5. Kadesh says, why would they play all out in Memphis? The longer I sat with this game and listening to Wham Bam talk about it, my thought was that we can get defense intensity from them because Ja's not in the lineup.
That's what I'm thinking too.
So that's the reason why KD's just and at first I wasn't there. It just took me a while to sit there thinking about it. And I was like, yeah, probably right. You're probably right. You take the big dog out and everybody's going to step up at home where they're the best home team in the league. Because I was initially going to move on the Magic. I still am interested in them, but I kind of flipped there. Pete, anything you want to make official?
My apologies. Go ahead, bro.
No. Go ahead. Say something. I'm thinking about something.
I just want to give a little love to the Magic. If I do like anything with the Magic today, it's gonna be the kid Kobe, Cole Anthony. Cole Anthony to go over his points, rebounds, and assists over 22.5 points, rebounds, and assists. He's averaging 26.3. Went over this 7 consecutive games. That's the way I'll be looking if I like anything on the Magic side. Cole Anthony. I keep thinking of something else. Cole Anthony over 22.5 points, rebounds, and assists. That's the way I'm be thinking about adding to like a possibly like a prop parlay or some shit like that.
All right, Jim, I'll throw something on. I don't know. I'm going to throw it on. You can give me Orlando team total, first half, team total under 57, minus 110 at Heritage.
Sorry, can you give me that again, Magic?
Orlando, first half, team total under 57, minus 110.
Interesting. Sean says y'all have this wrong, in my opinion. He says Orlando will keep this close. You're on the side, Sean. You're on the side of the sharp action, and the market's moving that direction. So there's no reason for you not to be confident there. I just feel like if I'm playing if I'm a volume better, if I'm going to be going up against certain cappers, I don't believe my ROI is going to be positive, even if I like it. Now, I've talked about this on the show for the last few weeks. When you have the conviction to go up against somebody that you respect, for me, my ROI is through the roof. But I don't know if I have the conviction here, and so I'm just probably going to let it go here. And KD said, I think Orlando wins outright. All right.
Yeah, I'm not. I don't. I'm just taking Orlando first half team total under because I like the under. I think they'll probably keep it close, but that doesn't necessarily. I mean, if it's tied at the half at very low scoring, then the team total under will cash anyway.
So I guess so. We're listening, right? It's one of the things that Pete always listening and reading and listening and talking. And so at first, when Troy said the Grizzlies lost last two front end of a back-to-back, they beat the Spurs by 6 in overtime. They lost to Portland in the house by 10. What kind of came up and almost trumped it or came close to it was the fact that with Ja out, we've seen what these Grizz do. They step up. They play good basketball. You could say that they weren't when Ja was going through all that shit, but that was different. That was different because there was a big cloud sort of hanging over the team with their star, and
yeah, they didn't know if he was going to play or not for the rest of the year. So it was definitely different emotions.
All right, let's move on to the next spot. So Pete moved on the Magic.
First half team total under 57, minus 110.
Wham moved on the Grizzlies, minus 6.5, minus 115. Astute Chaos on Orlando, Memphis, first half under 118. And we have our cappers, on either side of the story here. Kong's Clips thinking it's going to go wire to wire for the Grizz. You have Deshaun G liking the under. You have Slow Jams Arsenal looking at Dylan Brooks props. Eric Jones says the Grizz win by 8+. All right. And Mike M says Magic 10-0 against the spread is a dog versus the West. All right. So let's keep rolling. Next up for us is 8 p.m. Eastern. The Charlotte Hornets, 25-51. 12-27 on the road at the Oklahoma City Thunder, 37-38, 22-15 at home. Paycom Center in Oklahoma City, Oklahoma. Charlotte 3-2 over their past 5, playing the pace 100.6 possessions a game. OKC 3-2, playing the pace 99.20 possessions a game. Let's take a look at the line history for this one. We have over here. We have the Thunder opening up at -9. They're now -10.5. Big favorites. Total wise, it's opened up at 230.5 and it's dropped down to 230. Let's go over to the cash spot. KD says, does Shea play? I feel like the market's telling us he's in. 59% of the tickets and 90% of the cash on the Oklahoma City Thunder. 48% of tickets and 68% of cash on the over. So some bigger bets coming in on the over, and it's dropped a half point. So hard to decipher the market there. Charlotte comes in off its second straight win in third and 4 games, 110-104 at home over Dallas. So Clifford has made the decision about the 3 centers. He's going to rotate them in the rest of the way. So tonight it looks like Mark Williams is out. I don't know if that can be confirmed by everyone, but it looks like it's
yes, that's confirmed.
Jones and Richards. Okay. Look at Mikey saying feels like a shit NBA card. I don't have many looks here tonight at all. This does feel. I don't know. I don't know about saying it's shit, but it's tough. So Thunder snapped their 2-game losing streak with a 118-112 win at Portland on Sunday, and watching the Hornets beat Dallas twice and give Oklahoma City this opportunity. Was wild. Terry Rozier and Kelly Oubre have missed the last 2 games. Rozier will not play. Oubre is questionable. And the Thunder have won 9 of their last 13. What do you think here, Pete?
I don't know. I'm kind of agreeing with what Troy Torrance has to say, which is, I've been loving OKC as a dog throughout the year. As a favorite, it's a different story. It's a huge line. Nothing for me.
What do you think here, Wham Bam? Second to last game on the card.
Gotta think PJ Washington, man. That's pretty much how I'm feeling, bro. You got Gordon Hayward already looking like he's not going to play. You got questionable with Kelly Oubre, Terry Rozier out. Got to be the guy that's been holding it down for them on the offensive side of the ball. The only problem here is that they were not getting that many, too much looks. But I think he could get to, the 20 plus range. So right now he's at. For him to have 20 plus points is at minus 105. Only reason why I haven't bet this here is because I think if Kelly Oubre comes in, he could get a lot of that. So maybe I want to lean towards him or find a better number with PJ once Kelly Oubre is announced in. So that's the only reason why I haven't bet that yet. But I think that's pretty much the best play. I think that's the best play for this game. Just like you said. I mean, let's talk about the Charlotte Hornets. They actually have been playing pretty good defense as much as they have been having guys in and out the lineup. I do like how they have the big guys, Nick Richards, Mark Williams, like you said, he was ruled out there, but they've been playing pretty good on the defensive side of the ball. I think the last 5 games, if I'm not mistaken, they are ranked 6 in defensive rating. A lot better than the damn OKC. So, if they show up to play defense, they could easily get this cover. So wobbling on the side, though, for me, I think if I'm going to take anything, I'm going to just keep it PJ, keep it player, keep it P, and keep it PJ Washington there for him to have 20-plus points. That's the way I would be looking here. But other than that, I have nothing for this game as far as everything else.
Fuck this basketball game. Back with it.
I'm just back with it.
I hear you. Just McAfee, I didn't know that that happened. It's cost us, people watching the show when they make bets against each other and then the one guy just disappears and they generally come back with a different name, and all I can say is I'm sorry. I'm sorry that shit happens, man. That's all I can say. See, even the young king knows it's not right. All right, let's go. Final game on the board, 10 p.m. Eastern. New Orleans Pelicans 38-37, 14-24 on the road at the Golden State Warriors 39-37, 30-8 at home. Chase Center in San Francisco, California. I can tell you at Pubapalooza, everybody was man of their word for all the wild action that we had going on. So Chase Center, San Francisco, California. The Pelicans 5-0, playing the pace 99 possessions a game. Warriors 3-2, playing the pace 99.80 possessions a game. This is going to be a fun one. The Warriors open up as big, juicy favorites. They open up at -8. They're now -8.5, and it's juiced. Total wise, this opened up at 234.5. It has stayed there. It has stayed right at 234.5. Let's take a look at the action or the cash flow here on this. The final game on the board, a late night special, because I guess at this point in the night, if you're not betting hockey, the only thing you'll have is the Utah Valley UAB game going off before that. So there's going to be a lot of action on this Pelicans Warriors game. It's a pretty important game to our night. I'm guessing 49% of the tickets, 53% of cash on the Warriors. Totals wise, 75% of tickets and 86% cash is on the under. And Kong's Clips says that he stands up when he pisses. So just to give you an idea of how manly we are. Pelicans on the second half of back-to-back after their 5th straight win, 124-90 at Portland last night. No Zion, of course. God. Brandon Ingram playing very, very well right now. I mean, he's found himself. He's healthy. He's rolling. And he put up 29 in 31 minutes and then got to rest. Warriors had their 3-game winning streak snapped at 99-96 loss at home to the Timberwolves on Sunday. Curry 8 for 28 from 3 over his last 3 games. When is he going to show out? Gary Payton now back in a Warriors uniform. What do you think here, Pistol Pete? Take it away.
I don't know. Who the hell knows? I looked at this game. I was just like, man, this is I just have no real opinion either way. I guess I would be thinking No, not even. Not even. I was going to say thinking over. No, I don't like that at all. Really, just no opinion. No opinion.
Tough game, man.
Well,
Tough fucking game. Yeah, bro. This is a tough one. My thought process here is that, like you said, it's going to be a lot of action on here. There may be a lot of people forcing the over.
Yeah.
I think it's the fucking under spot, bro. I hate that it's at fucking Golden State, though. And it's 234, and you're going up against a team that hasn't been that good. That has been pretty better on the offensive side in the New Orleans Pelicans. But they've been really good defensively, man. Like ranked number 1 in defensive rating over the last 5 games. Been slow as hell in pace as well, you know. I just think that this is a fucking tricky ass game, man. I'm hoping that I win my first 2 bets and I won't even think about playing this damn game. But I like the under here, man. I think I like the under a lot, just based off of styles. I think it's going to be one of those key games that people watch. And I like the Pelicans too, Molly, bro. I'm not going to lie. It's just that the Warriors being at the house. Come on, man. How many times I've tried to do that, bet against them, and they shitted on me so many different times. And it's Shea and it's Steph himself, you know, shimmying, doing this little dance and shit. I don't want to go against that, but I like the under here. I think that there is going to be some defensive type game. Man, this is a tough game. Obviously, you would love to have Wiggins in the game here. So I kind of want to know what's really up with that family shit with Wiggins, man. Like, you know, I want Wiggins in the lineup sooner or later with the Warriors, but I do like that they do have Gary Payton Jr. back. I think he's going to get a little bit more run, possibly have a bad offensive game, but lock down on defensive side. So only thing I like is the under here, bro, but it's nothing I'm going to make official at all. So for me, it's going to be a pass.
You know, Bet Online just moved it up to 235 from 234.5. And we have all these big bets on the under. But I can understand from X's and O's why you would like the under. I would like to see the market show some concern. You know, Curry's not shooting well, and the Warriors are coming off of a loss at home. And it's just not the right recipe for me to fade them in that situation. You know, I'd rather them coming off a 25-point win and he just went 8 for 9 from 3. You know, then I'm like, you know, maybe he comes in a little soft. But right now he's not playing well, and he could show out here. But I don't want him as this big of a favorite against the Pelicans team that's playing their best basketball that they played since Zion went down.
Right. And a lot of that has to do with the boy Troy Murphy. If I was to think any prop, it's going to have something to do with Troy Murphy, man. He's been just lights out.
And that's what McElvey's saying. He's played Curry over 29.5 points. He had 20 last game in a home loss. He could snap. All right. Wow. Mike M says 94% of the cash on the money line. That always worries me when the spread's that big. Because that's why I stopped looking at it in NHL. But you just don't see pros betting minus 345s. You know, but you see pros betting plus 310s. So it's always. I try not to even look at it, but it is obviously worth noting for sure, man. All right, that was a very tough NBA card in the spots that I thought I was going to be firing. So I'm going to need obviously more work on it. But let's talk about official action here before we go into.
Sorry, I just wanted to shout out Bo Jackson's comment. Wiggins has got to be a Maury Povich show, baby.
Bruh, gotta be. Something really going on.
Jaylen Brown over points, rebounds, assists, 35.
Yeah, that's sorry. Well, whatever happened to those Maury Povich show babies? That would be a great show for Netflix.
Wow.
There.
Malcolm Brogdon over 18.5 points, rebounds, and assists for Luke McCann. But Wham's on Jaylen Brown there, and as I said, the Stu Chaos is on that first half over. Then Loshak's on the Hawks first half minus 113. It's BJ against Justin McElvey here on different sides of the coin. Bobby Boucher's play of the day is Hawks first quarter plus a half. Then LJ's on the Raptors first quarter. Which I have interest in. God, it was not fun watching the Raptors play the Wizards. Loshak's on the Heat first half +2 at -110. There's not, throughout this game, throughout these plays, you don't hear not one game where it's all correlated and everybody's, kind of together on it. Loshak's on, maybe this one's closest because Loshak's on the Magic first half team total under 57. Wham's on the Grizzlies -6.5. But we heard from a lot of the cappers who think, and the trend 10-0 with the Magic as a dog against the West.
It's just a little bit of a special situation, Jim, because of the school situation.
Yeah. Yeah, no, you're absolutely right. Hornets and Thunder, no action. And Pelicans, Warriors, no action. Wham Bam, if you add anything, please tag us and tweet it out so we know what's going on and we can, support it and help us guide it. What's up for you the rest of the week, my man?
Yeah, we're going to be on NBA Pub sometime this week. Wasn't able to make it yesterday because we were traveling, but I'm going to get my spot switched with Billy sometime this week here. But other than that, man, yeah, you catch me on Hoop Banging Sports Talk. When I'm talking, me doing a few spaces this week here. But yeah, man, NBA Pub. I'll be back here again on Tuesday and on Monday, OG Status. And the NBA playoffs is right around the corner. We will be regularly having shows with me, myself, Ski, and Babano. Shout out to Pete with that hat. That's a nice hat right there, man.
I mean, it's like I always say, if you want to be a winner, you got to look like a winner. And come on.
I love it.
Wham Bam, it was one of the most fun weekends I've ever had in my life. Thank you so much for being such a big part of how much fun it was, and just enjoyed every second of it, man. So I can't wait till the next time we hang. It looks like, I guess it'll be this summer in LA. But respect and love, keep getting that cash, and I'm just thankful to have you in the fam, man.
Let's do it, man. Let's shout out to the chat. Shout out to Pete. We'll see y'all again Tuesday, man. Love y'all, bro. Peace.
Hell yeah. Trot Wam.
There he is. Wham, bam. Okay, we have 2 more spots here on the board. College basketball action, and then we're going to hear from Jose with a little bit of talk about what we have in store for baseball this year on our channel. But let's get rolling here in college basketball. Make America Great Again in the house. I don't know. I didn't make anything official on that 6-game NBA card, and I do want action, so let's get to work and hopefully find it here. And let's get started with this, Pete. Our friend and colleague, Ron Crawford, has given us a spreadsheet play of the day. And the last time he was on North Texas, it cashed as well. Ron Crawford on North Texas here this evening. 7 p.m. Eastern, the NIT semis, Wisconsin Badgers 20-14 versus North Texas Mean Green. These games are going down in the Orleans Arena. Troy Torrance says, yes, sir, North Texas money line -1.5 and all of that. Thank you, Luke McCann. I love having your insights here, man. We work together to defeat the juice, and love having your insights. So let's move on here to the line history of this spot. And we have North Texas opening up at -1.5 almost everywhere, and open up -1.5 at Pinnacle as well, and it's still there. There's been a 1 cent move to Wisconsin at this number. Totals wise, open up at 115 and is now at 114.5. So we have a very low total. Let's take a look at the cash flow for this one. We have 33% of the tickets and 71% of cash on whiskey. Then we have, let me get to all markets here. Sorry, quickly. Then we have 68% of tickets, 61% of cash on the over. So 32% of tickets and 39% cash on the under, and it's dropped a half point. And it's a very low under, and you have to have, big Noli-sized balls to bet it. Wisconsin opened the tournament with home wins over Bradley and Liberty before they won at Oregon 61-58 last Tuesday as 1.5-point dogs. What was impressive about the win was they shot just 33.3% from the field. They out-rebounded Oregon 44-35, but you like to see a team still be able to, be victorious even when they shoot poorly. And we'll talk about that with another spot here today with UAB. I mean, they had a similar situation. Shot 13.3% from three and still won the game. North Texas opened up the tournament with comfortable double-digit home wins over Alcorn State and Sam Houston before just getting by Oklahoma State on the road, 65-59 in overtime as 4.5-point dogs. Take it away for us here. Pistol Pete Loshak, Wisconsin Badgers, North Texas Mean Green.
Yeah, Jim, I mean, I've been talking about this for years. I love college basketball. At one time, I was arguably a legit elite college basketball capper. Love it all year long, but I tend to take the Sweet 16 and on very cautiously, and a lot of times off. And same deal with the Final Four in the NIT, and for the exact same reasons as well. I think this line is pretty dead on. I would have been leaning Wisconsin if I didn't know about Ron Crawford, just because one of the big rebounders for North Texas is out, which they still should. It's just it's what the team does, and so they should have the depth to compensate. But that's a loss, I think, in Wisconsin. But I don't love betting on Wisconsin in general. They're a little bit overvalued, and I like North Texas, so I agree in general with the North Texas lean, and it just was concerning that this one guy is out. Again, yeah, if the total was like what they used to be in these kinds of games, which would be like 121, but still value on the under, then I would hit it. But at 115.5 in the first half, 52.5, can't pull the trigger on that. I'm going to have to pass on this one, Jimmy the Bag. I'm probably going to pass on both games, but definitely going to pass on this one.
Everybody on North Texas, I don't hear anybody saying Wisconsin. There are big bets that have been made on Wisconsin here. I also liked the rebounding advantage they had over Oregon. I think they're capable of having that same advantage here.
And again, this the top statistical rebounder for North Texas is out this game.
Yeah. I honestly want to bet Wisconsin, and seeing everybody on North Texas. Now, Mike M is now saying Wisconsin. So maybe that's enough. That might just be enough for me. I think that might just be enough for me. Mike M says, I think it means a lot to whiskey players. They're healthy, he's firing away. Troy Torrance, the line's not moving. I mean, actually, if you let me know a book it is moving, I'd love to know, because I'd love to see that. It's moved 1 cent towards Wisconsin. Now, remember, they only have 33% of the tickets. So 67% of the tickets are on North Texas at this point. And we'd be, but the line certainly is not. I mean, I don't see a book showing that. But let me check a couple other books. Let me check. So we want to know what Pinnacle's doing. Obviously, we want to know what Bookmaker's doing. A bookmaker opened this spread up so they haven't moved it at all. Oh, they did for a little bit. They early, right when 4 days ago, they moved it towards North Texas, but it's come back. And it came back pretty big when it moved. At one point, Wisconsin was just a 1-point dog. So then we'll check Bet Online here, and then we'll move on. There's been no movement. A few times North Texas got juiced, but this is back at that. So, you're saying a FanDuel BetMGM? Okay, I feel you. And Mike M says it's big money hitting whiskey public all over North Texas side, in my opinion. That's what I think too. And Nutflush says Pete knows when you get in these primetime spots and sports lines are extremely sharp. He says I always stay safe on avoiding at this point.
Yeah, I mean, the postseason in various sports are different. I love postseason in NBA and NHL, but stay away from postseason not in MLB and in college basketball. Not the entire postseason, though. First two rounds of the tournament, I love to bet, but Sweet 16 and on, and Final Four and on in the NIT.
Our final game on today's card, Utah Valley Wolverines 28-8 versus UAB Blazers 28-9. We are, of course, in Las Vegas. This is game 2 at the Orleans Arena. Let's take a look at the line history on this one. We have a big move to UAB here. Big move. Pinnacle opened them up at -2. They're now -4.5. You could get this last night at 3. You could get this yesterday morning at 2.5. You could get this on Sunday morning at 2, and you could have got this on Saturday morning at 1.5. So there's been a big move and a legitimate move towards UAB. Totals wise, it's opened up 151.5. It's now at 151. Let's take a look at the cash for this one. We have, move over here. We have 74% of the tickets and 89% of the cash on UAB. Wow. 78% of the tickets and 92% cash on the under, and that's not really moving. Wow. So Utah Valley opened up the tournament with 2 impressive double-digit wins at New Mexico and Colorado before beating Cincinnati at home 74-68 on Wednesday. Harmon and Woodbury each went for 17. UAB opened the tournament with dominant double-digit wins over Southern Miss and Morehead State before winning at Vanderbilt 67-59 on Wednesday's 2-point favorites. They won despite shooting 13.3% from 3. Jordan Walker was very good, 21-7-7. Trey Jameson at 17-12. Take it away for us, Pete. Our last game on the card, Wolverines Blazers.
Again, it's just, I thought I've been hip to Utah Valley for most of the year. I bet them a lot of their games, including their last one against Cincinnati. I had them in that one. But UAB is, similarly impressive and a bet on kind of team. So I'm not going to bet this game. Even with feeling the pressure of talking about it publicly and wanting to give a pick, I'm just not going to touch it. They're both obviously very naturally high-paced teams, but in a NIT Final Four, it can be a different situation. So I don't want to touch a total either. Maybe live or at the half, something will look decent. But as of right now, even if Utah Valley is like down by 12 at the half, and the halftime line is whatever it is, like -1 or 1.5 or something like that, I don't think I'd take them there either. I'm just going to pass on this one. Sorry, Jim, not going to bet it.
No, it's all good.
Yeah. If you gave me a free play, I would put it on the first half under. That's definitely not a recommended play or something I'm going to bet. Just letting you know.
Well, I'm going to have to spend some more time on the whiskey spot, but I am quite interested in them. But the spreadsheet play today is on North Texas. And then Utah Valley Wolverines, UAB. There's just been this massive move towards UAB and a lot of money on them. And can Utah Valley keep it close? I would expect that they're capable of keeping it close. UAB just showed us that they can win at Vandy when shooting 13.3% from 3. So, yes, Equanimus, we all expect Jimmy Butler to play today. All right, let's review college basketball action. Not much here. I don't think this is us just being exhausted. I don't. No. I think that we all were together for a whole weekend gambling and winning. We were winning all together. And that's not a surprise. When you're working with colleagues that you respect and you're breaking down the games together, of course you should win. And that's what we did. And maybe dropping down the volume of action here is just because, we're making money, we're winning, we're succeeding, and makes you think a little sharper and not maybe risk the same way when you're succeeding the way we just succeeded this past weekend, all working together. We're going to do a full review, but let's bring on the producer of our show, talk a little baseball action with us. And he was great fun in San Antonio. He got a little polluted himself Sunday night. It was great to see. It was refreshing seeing him on the sauce. And I enjoy hanging out with him immensely. The backbone of what we do here at Pub Sports Radio. Please welcome to the show, without further ado, young Sweet Tea Tits Bouquet in the house. How are you, Sweet Tea?
Hello. It's nice to see everyone. Apologies for some background noise, but I am in the bar currently. And, of course, I woke up late today. And, of course, I didn't have any Wi-Fi at home. So that's a great start to my evening. But it's nice to see everyone. Pete. Nice to see you as well.
You got to give that a watch. Give that a watch, Jose Bouquet. But, yeah, I'm happy that you're enjoying it. I am very happy about that.
Yes. Hey, Pete, thanks for the hat as always. I like it. It has my lovely hat. And by the way, shout out to Tim as well, too. Here, yeah, let's show the hat. I'm a part of the lumberyard now. I'm in. I'm gonna go to Brooklyn and be like, hey, oh, whoa. Tell them that I'm here to get some lumber. So be good to see.
Take it away. We have Mike M saying MLB trends on opening day favorites 120 and 43 as long as they are not the World Series champs or in a divisional road favorite spot.
Mm-hmm. Wow.
Look at that. Look at that. Shout out to Mike M. I can't wait to see Mike M's plays of the day and all of his trends during baseball season. But yes, baseball season starts on Thursday. On Thursday, opening day is Thursday, and I cannot wait. And I'll tell you guys the schedule for Say Hey Plays this year. I will be on every day except for Thursdays. I'll be on this Thursday, obviously, because it's opening day. But no Say Hey streaks, unfortunately, this time. I got told many times that the Say Hey streak this weekend was something that everyone really liked to watch. They're like 160, wow. And I was like, yeah. Well, now that I'm single, I'll be able to do the show more effectively and easier. So that'll be nice as well. But it'll start on Thursday. We'll go on after Net Profit, I believe, on Thursday. I don't know if they're 100% doing the show, though, but
wow. Big news. Sorry, very big news. Equanimus, I just told you that we all expect him to be in, just downgraded to questionable. Equanimus, I sure hope you're still in the chat, man. Please, God, because he's in South Africa, and I don't know if he's on Twitter. Please, Equanimus, can you just write something? Say, oh, I'm still here, Jimmy. We're good. You didn't just ruin my action. Sorry, keep going, Jose.
No, it would be funny if you did. But yeah, so the first show will be on Thursday. And then going forward, it will be at NCAA Net Profits time. So we're just do that little swap going in there. It'll be at 4 p.m. Central, 5 Eastern, because college basketball is ending soon, unfortunately. And then we'll just have that nice little swap there. So that'll be Monday through Friday, except for Thursdays. And on the weekends, of course, we'll be breaking down action 10 a.m. Central, 11 a.m. Eastern, right before the game. So it'll be a whole lot of fun. I cannot wait. Going to try out some different things this year, obviously. We'll find out how some things from last year work over a season-long sample. Troy already mentioning the 300 underdogs, plus 300 dogs. We'll take them every time this year and see how that goes. It was very successful. Profitable, I should say. Last year it was, I don't know, it was like 4 and 12, but we're up like 10 units on it. So it was a great time. So we'll be doing that. I cannot wait. And I haven't even had that much time to dive in too deep onto the baseball teams because I don't know if you guys heard, but the Baseball World Classic happened. And I don't know if you guys heard again, Pubapalooza just finished. I don't know if you guys were there or what, but yeah. It's a great time now. I'm going to be diving into the baseball here for the next 2 days. And we'll be on, like I said, Thursday, right after Net Profit. Or if they're not having one, we'll be on at 5 Eastern, 4 Central. That will be the times every day, every day, Monday through Friday, except for Thursday. And on Thursdays, don't think because there's no show, we're not going to be live there. We're going to be doing playbacks on Thursday. We'll be watching some baseball live on playback. If you guys remember, that's the thing where you guys have to put in your subscription so you can watch the games with us. We'll be on screen. The games will be going. It's a great time. So we'll be watching a lot of playbacks this year. That'll be on every Thursday as well. And I would love, Pete, we've now met each other in person. And I can find out where you live, Pete. So I want you to come on the program. I know 5 p.m. Eastern is a little late for you, Pete.
Yeah.
And I know you're a busy man on the weekends, but I would like to have you on Say Hey Plays as well.
Oh, sure. We'll work it out.
And I'm not very confident about that answer. But okay.
Jose, I need to do this publicly, unfortunately, because I'm got to run here in a second. My womb is so polluted right now.
Yeah.
I have a full horse racing show on Saturday, all day, all night, and I already know what's going to happen to my body. I'm probably not going to live a long life.
Yeah.
Do you want to do Sunday Night Baseball for the Sunday Night Live? Do you want to host that?
Yeah.
That would help me because I can't do 2 straight nights of and my family hasn't seen me, and like I gotta.
I get it. Your pussy's polluted
all day, all night. My pussy is hideous.
No, yeah, we there was a lot of talks about lips and how hangy and meaty they were this weekend.
I don't remember any of that.
Actually, thank you for reminding me. I forgot about it completely. There are a lot of things that you don't remember this weekend. Jimmy. A lot of things you don't remember this weekend, including, as I heard at the beginning of this show, you don't remember our friends Strawberry Hill and whatever the fuck the other game.
You sent me a clip.
That clip.
Twice,
Right. This clip.
You
All
know,
right. Jimmy, what do you say?
Where we want to see your toes. Yeah, my apologies.
We want to see your toes. That's gonna be in my back pocket now whenever I need it. It was a great overall Pubapalooza. I'll say this: I have no complaints. I do have one complaint. Jimmy's pussy was so polluted that all the events. He's just like, fuck it. My boom is too polluted for the event. So next year, I think maybe just no events and just have everyone drinking at the bar 24/7 might be the way to go.
I was good at that.
Yeah, you're undefeated at that. You got the championship belt just like you do in ping pong. By the way, can we just talk about again how Cab just got mentally just buried?
Yeah,
put under the fucking cellar. Oh my god.
Yeah, he's a good friend.
Yeah, I just saw him. I said goodbye to him just now.
Yeah, he's a good friend, and I like him. So I don't want to, I don't want to hammer into him. I'll do that when we're off camera, but I don't want to do that on camera. I want to get, he's a good friend. I like him, but when the camera's not rolling, I'll let you know, what I think of his mental toughness.
Well, I'll tell you on camera as well. He just got mentally buried, put in his place. And remember, Jimmy, and guys, just remember this: everyone in that spot picked Cab to win that game, except for me. I looked at my dad. I saw him saunter up. I knew exactly what was going to happen, and I looked at everyone. I said, "Jimmy the Bag is going to win this game," and fucking just took the cake, no problem.
I'd been drinking for 8 hours and I didn't warm up.
No sweat. Zero.
I didn't sweat. Yeah, and usually I sweat buckets. I'm in horrific shape. So
no, yeah, your pussy is fucking polluted, Jim.
It is. It's a little better than it was, but by the end of our horse show, right after the Florida Derby,
you're just on the floor.
Yeah. Sadly.
Well, speaking of being on the floor, Pete,
I
haven't got to talk to you since Pubapalooza. How was your Pubapalooza, huh?
Oh, it was great. It was wonderful. It was wonderful. We talked about it at the beginning of the show, just how there was literally too much stuff to even mention, and then try to list, and then we just started listing stuff haphazardly. But super fun. I'm looking forward to it next year, and I'm already looking forward to it next year. I'm like, what can I do?
Well, you're gonna move down here, right?
Yeah. Who knows?
Yeah. No, we're lobbying, Pete. We could be great roommates, Pete. Me and you. Let's go in. You saw the houses. For sale. We could go in one. We could split one. The Peter Loshak, Jose Bouquet house.
That's not gonna happen. No, kidding. No. I would love to live with you, Jose Bouquet. I just knew that saying that's not gonna happen in that way would be a little bit funny. Yeah, hell yeah. Who knows what the future will bring, Jose Bouquet? Very likely Pubapalooza 3, and I'm definitely looking forward to it. No, I'm a huge fan of Texas in general. Now, all the cities. I was talking in depth about it all with LJ from H-Town, and San Antonio seems like a very fun place for sure.
It was,
Pete figured out the cost of shaves, tipped to 200% on the shaves.
Yeah. I'm a big tipper.
You tip 200%?
Yeah, 200% of $10.
It only cost you $10.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. I was like, we got that on camera. I didn't know what the hell was going on, so I was like, are they giving it like? Why are they like? What's going on here? I don't know.
Oh my God, that's magic! Absolute magic. Well, we got to go, you guys. We got to go. Thank you so much for supporting the show. Thank you to all the love and support that everybody gave to our Pubapalooza 2. And remember, at end of March every year, we're going to do this, and it's extremely enjoyable. It's such a great group, and I love it. But Pete, we're all cut from your cloth. And the highlight for everybody was that you were there. Really.
Yeah. Oh, we'll do it again. I can't wait to do it again. I'm already thinking about what I could possibly do next time.
Yeah. How are we gonna one up a cane?
I don't know. That was dope. Maybe I'll if Slaughter commits to getting a halfway decent microphone, I'll tell Costa Rica stories or something like that.
Oh,
I like that.
Only if he commits to getting like a fucking
Sound system.
somewhat reasonable microphone.
But let's not forget also Pete was on stream talking to some ladies as well too.
Yeah.
Pete was
nice.
working game as well.
I mean, I did what I was there for, which is to extract winners even from anyone I'm talking to, and I'm very happy that I was able to do that for those 2 basketball games.
And don't forget as well, Jimmy was also there to see what?
You
All
know,
right. Jimmy, what do you say?
Where we want to see your toes.
I want to see your toes.
I don't know what to say, but I had a lot of fun. Bo Jackson, G Martinez, Mally Mal, Slow Jams, Justin McElvey, Tori Coker, Andrew G, Lucky Lefty, Nasty Nate. Wasn't it funny, Nasty Nate?
Yep.
Mike M, Nutflush Allen, Lucas Ryan, the Nuke Worker. We need the Nuke. We need Nuke down there as well. Next year, maybe. Velo Cuts, Make America Great Again, Gifted Cartel, Jake Burns. Thank you guys. Fanatical Jim, Troy Torrance. Thank you guys for your support. Whew. I'm in rough shape. I'm going to go make some bets. I'm going to need to shower before I leave. I can just...
When's the last time you showered?
I showered last night when I got home. I couldn't... I stunk of alcohol. Like alcohol was coming through all my pores. I smelled like a Kraken bottle, which is not bad.
Well, yeah, you didn't smell around me too. That's here's an inside peek of me and Jimmy's relationship. One of the things that I do for Jimmy, I occasionally just give him a whiff, a smell, and I just want to make sure that he doesn't stink. Hey, that's just the relationship we have. And by the way, Mally Mal, that show is still available. You want to see some toes? That show's still available on Pub Sports Radio as well.
Yeah, we're gonna put a bunch of the videos that we shot. They're not up right now in the playlist, but we'll have them up here in the next few hours.
Yes, and there will of course be videos coming out in the coming days of the golf and all that good stuff as well. Maybe in the future there might be something bigger. Who knows?
I like it. Thank you guys so much for watching. Jose, my friend, can you leche us into the future and bless our action?
Sure. I am wearing my Elmex hat, my good luck hat. Again, Pete, I can say this. In this hat, I've never had a losing day. I've never had a losing day wearing this hat before. So that's all I can say.
That's why we give things around with love. That's what we're hoping to achieve.
Exactly. Beautiful. Everyone, thank you guys for watching the program. If you came to Pubapalooza, thank you guys again. All my guys, I hope J-Dub is alive wherever you are, J-Dub. Haven't seen your face in like 3 days.
You know what? It was so funny because when you guys went to golf, he came, and we're drinking. I just know we're alive, because I was, I got pretty intoxicated that day. We're drinking, we're talking, and next thing I know, this is not what you want, but next thing I know, I wake up. J-Dub's gone. Everybody's gone. I'm like, what?
Oh, in the studio.
Yeah.
No, yes. I scared the shit out of Jimmy that day. Yes. Yeah, no. You that betting with the bag is also an all-time betting with the bag. We saw Pete come in on that day as well. So it was a great episode. But we're gonna end this episode now because fucking Jimmy is so polluted. Yeah, it's sickening. It's so sickening. He needs another shower right now. Pete, it's a pleasure as always seeing you. We'll hopefully see each other again soon. Again, everyone that came to Pubapalooza, it was a great time. Come again. Next year will be fun. We'll have more meetups in the future as well as some East Coast, maybe a little Vegas action as well. And maybe I'll get another tattoo at another meetup.
Ragu just woke up.
Oh, there we go. We're good live now. There we go. We love to see it. Thanks, everyone, and we'll see you guys next time.